For the bronze is taking 4 rounds each in the welterweight division. And here we play to the ring first, fighting in the blue corner from Riverside, California. Here is Arroyo Hernandez. Making his way to the ring here from Hollywood, Bielecki.
Of last year, a 4-round draw in Richmond, Virginia against Leonard Davis. So there it is, our first bout of the night, and we'll be back with more. Joe Martinez will give the particulars, the initial bout of 360 Promotions Hollywood Fight Night.
And all fight fans, we are set to go with our first bout tonight. Again, 4 rounds this scheduled in the welterweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing black trunks trimmed in red, white, and green, he weighed in officially 139 1/4 pounds. In 4 bouts as a professional, his record stands at 3 victories, 1 defeat, 2 wins, coming by way of knockout. Hailing from and fighting out of Riverside, California, here is Alfredo Hernandez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing tonight black trimmed in white, he weighed in officially 139 pounds. He enters the ring tonight for the 5th time as a professional, fighting out of and representing Hollywood, California. Here is Maniac Bielecki. And your referee in charge of the action, Jack Reese.
Tell him, man. Help me. All right, Mike. Hey, guys. His trunks are a little bit above the waist, so I'm going to let him work in here. Same thing with this. It's going to come up. I'm going to let them work. Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece. I gave you both instructions. Just want to remind you, listen and obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Fight hard. Fight clean. Good luck to both of you. Of course not. Hey, brother, you got to go behind the corner to get out of the way in case they bump, come over the ropes.
And our referee for this bout is veteran Jack Reese. We are going 4 rounds in the junior welterweight division. Once again, worldwide feed brought to you by ringtv.com. As Tom Loeffler mentioned, it is not geo-blocked. You can see this all across the planet. Let's begin round number 1.
Hey, bud, you got to go in the corner. You got to go in the corner. I'll explain why later.
Bielecki, who's in the all-black trunks with the record of 1-2-1, won his pro debut way back in December of 2015, a 4-round decision over Jimmy Rosario. Since that point, 0-2-1, as he had 1 bout in each 2015 and 16 and fought twice last year.
He looks competent to me. And just looking at their bodies, even though he's just 1 year older than Hernandez, he seems to have a more mature body.
And you are right about that, Doug. Despite the upside-down record, technically and fundamentally, he does not look bad.
He's what I call a competent fighter. He is a club fighter. 1-2-1 is his record. Hernandez is 3-1. Are either of these guys going to be considered a prospect one day or a contender? Probably not. This is a club fight, and these are a lot of fun.
Yeah, in the audience, a couple of veteran matchmakers are in attendance, and really what they're fighting for, more fights, to make sure that these guys' names are in the Rolodex. Because, you know, guys, listen, they're not going to do this for a living, but to earn a few bucks here and there on the circuit, this in many ways is an open audition.
Yes, and the most important thing about a fight like this is that the fighters are evenly matched, and they look well matched. So some of tonight's fights, we're going to see amateur standouts like Brian Seballo. He's somebody that people are going to keep an eye on. There's Bawa Chuck, who's 6-0 from Ukraine. He's a bona fide prospect. Maybe has the potential to develop into a contender. And then headlining, we have Ryan Martin, you know, sort of a lightweight fringe contender, but he's somebody who is considered to be a contender by a lot of people and probably has a title shot in his future. But the other folks on this card, they're just club fighters, and they're here to entertain. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Both men having some moments here in round number 1. We are scheduled for 4, Mike Bielecki and Alfredo Hernandez.
Stop punching, stop. Step back clean, and we'll always get around.
And that's it for round number 1.
Doing great. Bayo lang ang club. Mike, your feet. You have to stand down your feet, okay? Stand down your feet.
Explain to him why he's got to be behind the corner so he can protect himself. No, not now. Not now. Now is okay. During the round, you got to be protected so if they come back to the ropes, they don't slam into this.
Okay.
Go, Mikey.
Mike, jab straight upper, jab straight hook. Okay, then out. Don't go back, side. Okay?
Good. Remember, you have that liver shot. That right hand with that liver shot. Stool.
Number 2.
And we begin round number 2 here at the Avalon in Hollywood. Mike Bielecki and Alfredo Hernandez. Hernandez 3-1, 2 stoppages out of Mexico. Last fought February 25th in Mexico. First round stoppage over Alejandro.
Stop. Right, separate, step back, box.
Doug, if I'm not mistaken, last year the Avalon was actually the LA stop for the press tour between Gennady Golovkin and Saul Alvarez. And we'll have lots of news to report on that particular event on May 5th. We'll get to that a little bit later.
I'll tell you what, Hernandez is fan-friendly. Beautiful right uppercut landed.
And you can see him very consistent to the body, digging that classic Mexican left hook downstairs to Bielecki.
Now, I scored the first round for Hernandez. He didn't land a lot of telling blows, but he was the more aggressive of the two. He's the one forcing Bielecki back on his heels. And in this round, he's actually landing these punches, particularly to the body.
He's certainly stepping up the pace, and keep this in mind, this is a 4-round fight. I don't think there's a lot of time to feel your way into this or dip your toe slowly. You got to get right into this. You have 12 minutes to basically make your mark.
Yeah, so Bielecki needs to get control of this. He either needs to get some respect by hurting Hernandez or making Hernandez think twice about just walking in on him. Or I think, you know, he looks like the bigger, stronger man. It would be interesting to see if Bielecki could tie up Hernandez and walk him back, because I wonder if Hernandez fights as effectively backing up as he does coming forward.
And there is the corner of Bielecki giving instructions to their man, and what's been a pretty solid action round number 2.
Nice, good job. Yes. Ready your feet. Yes, very nice.
Bielecki needs to get a jab going.
Double jab
He's
straight.
just sitting there watching Hernandez. He fights okay. Like I said, he's competent even when backing up.
Relax, relax, relax.
But he's not going to win around boxing in this manner.
Relax, good, good.
Hernandez is too aggressive and he's too busy.
And many of these combinations of Hernandez, he's punctuating them with left hands downstairs with the hook. And one thing I do notice about Bielecki, he's already breathing with his mouth open. So certainly, even though it's a short fight, fatigue could become a factor here in the second half of this 4-rounder.
Yeah, and some of that just could be psychological because Hernandez is putting so much pressure on him. But Hernandez is also landing body shots.
Yes, good.
That'll certainly sap a fighter's steam.
Overhand. Good.
Stop punching.
And that's the end of round number 2, halfway through this one. Bielecki and Hernandez battling closely.
While action is going on inside the ring, once again, for the safety of our fighters, please do not use flash photography during fight action. Thank you.
Breathe up, fellow, breathe. Deep. And our right hand is beautiful, okay? Double jab, right hand, and right after that, I want that left uppercut, okay? I want 3 punches, 4 punch combinations now. He's tired. He's got more than him, okay? Breathe up, brother, breathe. He's tired, bro. Breathe, man, breathe. Double jab, and it's the pain. He's got way more than him. Let's see it. The fucking Eagles are gonna come out. Let's go. Let's do this. You're already tired of him. He's tired, bro. He's tired. He's running from me.
Nice jab, right hand landed by Hernandez, the aggressor through the first 2 rounds of this bout.
Hey, Fredo,
Some decent fighting off the ropes from Bielecki.
And Doug, after 2 rounds, how do you have it scored?
I have it 2-0 for Hernandez. It's all about that pressure, that aggression, the body work. He's just outworking Bielecki.
And he starts off round number 3 by sticking his head right back into the pile and getting to work. You know, you get the sense Bielecki has the sharper, more technically sound punches, but it is Hernandez being the busier guy of the 2.
I think Bielecki could turn some of these punches over more. He seems to slap with those hooks and crosses. He's got a nice jab, though. When he uses it, he needs to get busier with that. And Hernandez just smiles at Bielecki, and when Bielecki lands a sneaky right cross.
Oh, that's a good right hand by Hernandez. That one seemed to really affect Bielecki.
Yeah, it turned him, maybe stiffened his legs for just a moment.
Hernandez now turning on the heat here in round number 3.
And that's what Hernandez's corner asked of him. They noticed, just as you noticed, that Bielecki is looking a little winded.
You know, even in a short fight, the guy that goes backwards generally is going to expend more energy than the guy that's able to march forward, which in this case is certainly Alfredo Hernandez.
Yeah, and this seems to be Hernandez's ring identity. Look, he's not breathing hard at all. His face is very calm. This is just how he fights. He's an aggressive pressure fighter by nature.
Yeah, certain fighters just have that ability to really relax, know how to breathe. And just fighting at a certain steady pace.
Yeah, and this is another reminder. You can't always judge a book by its cover. If you look at Hernandez's physique, he's, you know, kind of a pudgy little dude in there. But there's some snap on the end of his punches, and obviously he has an engine.
Another left hook to the body and a right hand to the body by Hernandez.
I like that Hernandez is always going downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, always mixing up body punches with his assault to the head.
And you can see Bielecki trying to hold his ground, trying to sit down on his punches, but he's really being put on his skateboard or his roller skates here in round number 3.
He's sneaky and he's crafty, and he has had his moments in this round. This is an entertaining round.
Hernandez just strafing the body. Many of his punches just are really aimed to the chest and down. In other words, you can't miss those type of punches.
Alfredo's got a little hematoma on the right eye from a punch.
Bielecki still landing. I like Bielecki straight left. I'd like to see some uppercuts or something. And I'm not a fan of clinching, Steve, but I think sometimes it would behoove Bielecki to hold, to tie up Hernandez and just walk him off the ropes.
That's it, guys.
That's it. 3 rounds in the books. 1 round to go between Bielecki and Hernandez.
Don't fold it, please.
Hernandez misses with a sweeping hook, eats a right hand as he tries to walk down Bielecki, and then Hernandez lands a right to the ear of Bielecki that momentarily wobbled him. Bielecki had his moments in this fight. That was a nice 1-2 off the ropes. There's a left hook to the head and body by Bielecki, followed by a straight right, some body work. Nice right uppercut on the inside by Hernandez as he gets tagged. See, it's Hernandez always pushing Bielecki back, even when he's eating punches.
Doug, I would say that Bielecki flashed here and there in round number 3, but it is the steadiness and the consistency of the attack of Hernandez that probably has built the lead here going into the final 3 minutes. Our first bout of the night, Hollywood Fight Night, brought to you by Tom Loeffler's 360 Promotions. Round number 4 between Bielecki and Hernandez.
I scored round 3 for Hernandez, but I do think it was a competitive round.
Hernandez again just crowding and smothering Bielecki, sticking his head right on his chest and then getting to work with both hands here in round number 4.
And these aren't heavy shots to Bielecki's body and arms at this point. I think some steam has left the punches of Hernandez, but he's in there working. Hernandez isn't showing fatigue on his face, but there is some snap that is lost from his punches. But he's still working in there. And you can hear his corner tell him, don't smother your punches. And he is doing a little bit of that in this final round.
But this has been a constant theme. One man, the Mexican, moving forward while Bielecki trying to fend off this steadiness and the persistence of Hernandez.
Yeah, Hernandez holds on because he has eaten some punches. I think Bielecki is sharpshooting a little bit in this 4th round.
Oh, good right hand by Hernandez. Hernandez has done just enough downstairs that he can't set up right hands right over the top.
Here's where Bielecki needs an inside game. I mean, to me, it looks like Hernandez is right there for uppercuts from either hand, and he doesn't have that in his arsenal. There's a nice double right cross from Bielecki. And man, Hernandez is just—he's like a poor man's baby bull.
No,
you know, he's a
Everybody
swarmer.
stop.
No.
Nobody
Stays on top of you.
Very
away,
pesky,
step
very
back.
persistent.
Box.
30 seconds to go here. It's been a competitive one. And Doug, I know your scorecard has 3-0, but I think the first 2 rounds were very, very close.
That's a good point. My scorecard is very unofficial. Oh. Nice right cross from Bielecki. Oh, nice uppercut. That was an uppercut hook combination from Bielecki.
Bielecki rallying here in the final seconds of the 4th and final round. Both men letting it go. And there you have it. Neither
Great
man
fight, fellas.
letting anything go here. They have emptied the bucket. 12 hard minutes of competition between Mike Bielecki and Alfredo Hernandez.
I like it. I like it. You know what? You can't judge a fighter by his body type. So you may not have expected that kind of output from Hernandez, and you can't judge a guy by his record either.
Yeah.
You look at Bielecki's 1-2-1, and you think this guy probably can't fight. He can fight. There was some real craft and ring generalship from him. And those rounds went right by. I mean, they seemed like they were 2-minute rounds. And that's because of the activity from both fighters. but primarily from Hernandez.
You want to tell the guys?
All right, before we get to the decision, Cynthia Conte is with the Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Murat Garcia.
You know what I mean? Hey, you can't cover
Okay,
up
guys.
everybody else.
Wow, look who I found. Murat Garcia. You guys don't know. He is going to be fighting very, very soon to unify the cruiserweight belt against Usyk over for the WB Super Series. How excited are you to be sitting here for 360's promotion, the Hollywood Fight Night, before you have your big fight?
Yeah, I wanna say thank you Tom Loeffler and congrats for his first boxing show. Today to my friends fighting, Sergey Bogachuk, Ryan Martin. I'm here with my friends to support these fighters, and I hope today we see very great fights. And I have day off today. This evening I come back to Big Bear and continue training and prepare myself for my fight.
Is it nice to take one night off from the running and the training to come just watch fights?
Yes, I'm very happy. Coach give me day off and I here.
Are you ready? Are you ready for your fight against Usyk?
When I'm born, I'm ready.
Oh. All right. Okay. So with this first fight right now, what did you think?
I think Armenian guy win, but very close fight.
Fight? Okay. Okay. Well. All right. Well, we'll see if you're right. We'll find out. All right, guys. Back to you, Steve and Doug.
All right, thank you very much. Well, Doug, we have a disagreement between you and Murat Garcia, but let's see what the official scorecards read. Let's go up to Joe Martinez.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and here are the totals. Judge Raul Caiz has it 40-36 for Bielecki. Daniel Sandoval, 39-37, Hernandez. And Judge Fernando Villarreal scores it 39-37. Your winner by split decision from Hollywood, California, Maniac, Bielecki.
Okay, well, I can't say that me and Doug actually agreed with that decision, but I'm not one to argue with Murat Garcia.
Yeah, he saw something.
But
and
there
he saw the fight that 2 judges saw. And listen, if Bielecki had Gassiev's power, fighting in the way that he fought would have legitimately won this fight. But I thought Hernandez soundly outworked Bielecki.
So Bielecki now evens up his record to 2-2-1. Couple notes on Murat Garcia, who's coming off a late stoppage win over Junior Derticos in the semifinals of the World Boxing Super Series. He is also trained, of course, by Abel Sanchez, who's here tonight with Sergey Bawa Chuck.
Okay.
All right, well, Cynthia's with the victor, Mike Bielecki. Cynthia.
Well, congratulations. Okay, let's talk about this. You are in your hometown. You are fighting in front of all your friends, family, everybody. How does that feel? How does this victory feel to you?
It's the best feeling on earth. I love all my fans. Thank you all for coming out. This is my gift to you. Thank you.
All right, what's next for you?
Whenever. I mean, that's it. Whenever I get a fight, I'm ready. I'm ready. That's all I can say.
Are you ready to eat now?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
All right, well, good luck and congratulations. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Ms. Conte. And they're looking at some of the action. And Doug, I know our scorecards differ from the official tallies. The first 2 rounds were close, but
it's good that you pointed that out.
But again, Hernandez, in my view, or at least your view, was the consistent, steadier guy. But it was Bielecki who landed the showier, sharper punches.
True. That's true. He was very accurate. He can fight while backing up, and he needed to against Hernandez, who applied relentless pressure, stayed on him. Definitely outworked him in terms of punch volume, but Bielecki, he had his moments, he got his licks in, and he impressed 2 of the 3 official judges, and he took some hard shots from Hernandez, like that overhand right.
And certainly this fight finished with a flourish, both men letting the leather fly to end this 4-rounder. One other note about
all right, we promised we would have a winner in our raffle drawing tonight after the first fight. In the first
Usyk, maybe May 11th. They could actually move it back to the summer. Abel Sanchez did tell me earlier, guys, he's in camp. We are going to prepare as if we are fighting May 11th, and worst case scenario, you take a couple of weeks off. This fight could actually end up in Russia sometime in the summer.
Yeah.
Doug, we're being... All right, listen, we've got more boxing coming up. 6 more fights on the card here from the Hollywood Avalon Theater. 360 Promotions presents Hollywood Fight Night.
Come on up to the ring, Emily. You are the first winner tonight in the prize package drawing. You've got the gloves. Come up to the ring, Emily. Again, if you guys have these cards, make sure you fill them out. Either a finger or mic that will come by your seat. Grab those and fill them in, so you will be eligible for a drawing, which is held on during second fight tonight. We are bold.
Triple G rose to success through his own skills and determination, but also through the support and brilliance of those around him. Every time he prepares to get into the ring, he acknowledges how these people and their lessons have impacted him and allowed him to become the champion he is. They strengthen and protect Triple G in the ring, giving him the confidence and courage to always get up and fight for it.
All right, and we are back here at the Avalon in Hollywood. Hollywood Fight Night's brought to you by 360 Promotions. And our next fight of the night is about to enter the ring, and we're going to continue the action. And do we send it up to Joe Martinez or not? I'm not really sure, but there we see a couple of the fighters. But now, let's go up to ring announcer Joe Martinez.
All right, we're ready for our second bout tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready, Hollywood? Making his way to the ring first, fighting out of the blue corner from Huntington Beach, California. Here is Guadalupe Arroyo.
And there is Guadalupe Arroyo. And in the background, yes, that is Kid Frost doing it for La Raza. Arroyo, 27 years old with the record of 3-10. He is 1-1 in his last 2 bouts after going through a streak of 8 losses.
And his opponent tonight, fighting out of the ring corner, is the undefeated featherweight from South El Monte, Califas, Luis Rosales.
And there he is, being led into the red corner is Luis Rosales. On BoxRec, he has a ledger of 6-1-1 with 3 stoppages. He is 24 years old, and you see his trainer, an old hand, the Yoda of boxing, Ben Lira.
That's the man right there. Many decades has he operated a boxing program out of South El Monte.
Yeah. And speaking of major trainers, Freddie Roach is a special guest tonight here at the inaugural edition of Hollywood Fight Night. All right, well, both participants are in the ring. Let's get the particulars from Joe Martinez.
Well, fight fans, once again, we are set to go 4 rounds. This in the featherweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing tonight orange trimmed in blue and silver. He weighted officially 129 1/4 pounds. Tonight, he enters the ring for the 13th time as a professional. Hailing from Huntington Beach, California, here is Lupe Arroyo. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing dark blue and white, he weighed in 122 1/2 pounds. In 2 bouts as a professional, he is perfect. 2 victories and no defeats. Fighting out of South El Monte, California, here is the undefeated Luis Rosales. And your referee in charge of the action, Rudy Barragán.
Center, guys. Muchachos, vamos a pelear 6 rounds, ¿ok? Quiero que se cuiden y quiero que me obedezcan los dos, ¿ok? 6 rounds. Buena suerte a los dos.
Once again, fans, please do not use flash photography during fight action. Thank you.
You good, sir? You good? Doc? Good? He's good. Let's go, box.
And we get started here. 6 rounds, featherweights in action. Luis Rosales and Guadalupe Arroyo, who's in the orange.
And like our opening bout of the evening, are we watching guys who are one day going to be considered hot prospects or top 10 contenders? Probably not. This is a club fight. And the most important thing about this matchup is that these guys are evenly matched. And as with the first bout, you can't always judge a fighter by his physique or by his record.
Yeah, because by that standard, Luis Rosales should win this going away. He certainly looks the part. Checking up on the Twitter timeline, Matt Wood says this is a sweet boxing stream. Thank you very much. Also, Ryan Scalia, King Hipster says, first fight was very fun on 360 promos, Hollywood Fight Night. Thought Hernandez definitely won the first 2, so I'm assuming he thinks Hernandez won that first fight. And also, Linus SQ, the security blanket from Philadelphia, says Murat Gassiev got the memo that all Bond villains wear mock turtlenecks.
Yeah, he can wear it. And hey, how about that guy? 2 years ago, he couldn't speak English at all, and his English has improved drastically, as he has himself as a fighter.
Also, David Baguetta says, looks like a great atmosphere, guys. I thought Hernandez won the first fight. Duly noted. By the way, Mr. Baguetta, watching this fight down under in Australia. Again, this broadcast on ringtv.com is not geo-blocked. You can watch this anywhere in the world. Spread the word.
And that's a beautiful thing. It's great when people all around the world can get a Hollywood or an LA area club fight experience. And it's great that Tom Loeffler's getting involved in the development of fighters. For so long, he's been involved with champions, elite boxers, guys who are going to be in the Hall of Fame one day.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, one of them, Vitaly Klitschko, will be enshrined this summer at the International Boxing Hall of Fame. But you imagine that Vladimir Klitschko and Triple G and Chocolatito Gonzalez, they're going to be in Canastota one day. But the folks on this card, they're the young ones. They're the new blood. They're the folks that are coming up, and it's very helpful to have another club series here in Southern California.
And if you want to join in on the conversation, you could tweet at Dougie Fisher and at Steve UCN Live and hashtag Hollywood Fight Night.
So far, a very controlled boxing performance in the opening round from Rosales.
10 segundos, muchachos. 10 segundos. Para la campana.
He seems very dialed in there, working everything off his jab, keeping his balance, looking for his opportunities, like with that straight right.
Muy bien. Suavecito, suavecito lo mide, ¿eh?
Okay,
No se apure. Where's that water? Right there, son, right there. The water. This one. There you go.
Come back with that left. Sales. Now make sure you're switching them around. Up here, down here. Up here, up, down here. Switch them up on that motherfucker. He has a lazy ass jab, eh? I want you to work it. I need Vaseline.
Rosales getting his jab off, avoiding a kind of a wild right hand from Arroyo. Both guys a little bit tight here in this first round. They're missing with a lot of shots. I thought Rosales boxed the more control of the two, although he eats a straight right from Arroyo. Arroyo does not have a pretty record, but he does have that experience, Steve.
For Arroyo, who was in the Denver Bronco colors of the orange and blue, he last fought February 15th at the Hangar in Orange County, losing a 4-rounder to Devon Abraham. Keep this in mind, he has never been knocked out and he's never scored a knockout, so chances are we're gonna see a distance fight here tonight. It's one of those guys, Doug, that knows how to survive. That in itself is a skill.
Yeah, and his style is a little bit awkward, a little bit unorthodox, and that can be difficult for a disciplined orthodox boxer like Rosales. Rosales seems to do everything by the book. A nice lead right from Rosales. Seems to have good timing on that punch.
Rosales is certainly early on the superior technician. Shorter, sharper, straighter, more compact punches. You see again, good right hand there. Bounces off the head of Arroyo and a right hand to the body.
Rosales is going to have to be careful during exchanges. He can't get too greedy against Arroyo, because Arroyo does swing and he can be sneaky with some of those haymakers.
Yeah, and Rosales looks a little bit stiff in the upper body. One thing I think Ben Litter's going to have to work on it, and this again comes with a lot of work in the gym, moving your head after you punch.
Yeah. The old timers say something should be moving on your body at all times. If your hands aren't moving, your feet better be moving. If your hands and feet aren't moving, your head and upper body better be moving.
And right there, you see him again. He threw a right hand, he missed it. At least he was able to slip that one.
Yeah.
And he lands a good left hook to the body.
Yeah, he's straight up. He's a straight up and down fighter right now. It's like his prime defense is really his legs, just moving in and out of range.
But that is the one thing I do notice about Rosales, Doug. When he punches, his head usually stays right on the center point. That is something that's going to be a point of emphasis with a veteran trainer like Ben Lira.
You can hear that Rosales has brought a cheering section from South El Monte. That was a nice right to the ear of Arroyo. May have stiffened his legs just a bit. Rosales should never abandon his jab, even when he's in pursuit of Arroyo.
10 seconds, guys. 10 segundos. Para la campana, muchachos. Tiempo!
And that's the end of round number 2 between Luis Rosales and Guadalupe Arroyo. We are scheduled for 6.
Round number 3, yes, sir. Thank you, Danny.
This motherfucker keeps coming forward. Hit him, come around him. Hit him, come around him. Don't stop these hooks.
Cynthia
I need those
Conte
things
with
working.
a well-known trainer. You may recognize this name, Miss Conte.
The Roach Hall of Fame trainer, welcome. You've been in so many matches. You are here witnessing Hollywood glam at its finest in boxing here at Avalon. What do you see in these fights right now? I'm gonna fall. Hold on. Let's move over this way.
Good young prospects coming up and learn the game, and they're doing very well.
With these club fights, what do you expect from fights like this?
That's where your future champions come from. You know, this is where we all began. You know, we're all 4- and 6-round fighters at one time, and you know, this is where we learn our sport and where we get better and better.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you. I'll let you get back to the fights right now. Enjoy. I'll see you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right, Cynthia, thank you very much. And Freddie Roach added to his roster of world champions. He's done a really nice job of developing Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, and that was something years ago he wasn't known for. People looked at Roach as that guy that an already developed fighter would go to, or
Iron gun.
Yeah, or a veteran fighter who may have lost his way and may have been written off by the rest of the world. They go to Freddie, they get new life. You've seen Freddie do that with so many fighters, from James Toney to Miguel Cotto. But he can develop a prospect.
Wasn't too long ago, Jose Ramirez winning the WBC 140-pound champion, pounding out a 12-round decision over the game, Amir Imam. It looks like now he's headed to a showdown with the talented Regis Prograis.
That's a hell of a fight.
That's going to be a real fight.
Yeah.
And we have a real fight developing right here. You know, Luis Rosales seems to be the stronger, faster fighter, but Arroyo certainly very game and sneaky at times, and now starting to pour it on the Mexican veteran.
Yeah, Rosales smells blood, and he's pouring it on him, as you said, which is a bit risky because he's not a power puncher.
And the more he opens up, the more susceptible he is for those haymakers, those winging power shots from Arroyo. Now he takes a few steps back and gets back to his boxing form. But I like that instinct that he has. He's you described him as a technician, and he is a technical boxer, but he can also be aggressive. And we noted that Rosales didn't have a lot in the way of head and upper body movement, and that's something that I do see from Arroyo, which makes him difficult to take out. And you know, Rosales might look at Arroyo and think, oh, I've got this guy reeling, but that just might be that kind of just the way he fights. He throws himself off balance, and as he's trying to bob and weave away from punches, he might look like he's on wobbly legs, but maybe he isn't.
Yeah, and we note record is certainly upside down at 3-10 for Arroyo, but we note he has never been stopped in any of his defeats. So certainly if he does have one thing going for him, it is durability as we head to the end of the round.
5 segundos, para la campana. ¡Tiempo! Yes, sir.
And we are here at the Avalon, but across the street, this well-known building, the Capitol Records building.
Thank you, sir.
Talk about iconic.
Yeah.
We're on the cards, my brother. Everything's
That's the first thing I noticed when I parked my car. I had to take a picture of it. I'm like, well, there it is.
And once again, we are here at the Avalon in Hollywood. It is Hollywood Fight Night, brought to you by 360 Promotions, headed up by Tom Loeffler. This is the initial show. Our main event of the night, Ryan Martin kicks off his 2018 campaign.
And Arroyo had a heck of a third round. Poured on the offense, swarmed Arroyo along the ropes. He has a nice jab, but he can also throw hooks and crosses, as he's doing, catching the journeyman to the body and the head.
Can you clean it up a little bit?
Doug, halfway through, what's your scorecard read?
I have 3-0. Luis Rosales. He's not just the better technician, Steve. He's been the busier of the two. Arroyo, though, as you like to say, is giving him professional resistance.
That seems to be his role, and guys like this are very popular with matchmakers for a couple of reasons. Number one, they are steady, they are durable, they may not be much of a threat to the house fighter, but they will give you invaluable experience.
Right, he doesn't have the power to be a real threat in there, but he has kind of a herky-jerky style. Ooh, and he's sneaky.
And he's sneaky.
Yeah, he lands enough to keep the prospect, or the A side, honest in there, and he shows him enough looks to where the up-and-comer has to learn. He has to adapt a little bit.
To managers and matchmakers, there's nothing more annoying than opponents that actually have a lot of power. That could upset the apple cart. And a lot of these managers, quite frankly, when they see a guy with a lot of power, no matter what the record, they become very, very hesitant to even make these developmental fights. And you can see with Rosales, even though he looks the part, he's still a very raw guy. This is going to be a long-range project for Rosales, as Ben Lero really works with them day to day to really hone these skills. Rounds like this will be very, very good for his development, though.
I agree.
There's a good straight right hand by Rosales.
It was very compact.
Rosales began his career in 2014, fought mostly in Mexico. Last two fights have been in the Southern California area at Montebello's famous Quiet Cannon, and then he fought at the Western Bonaventure. It's another right hand over the top by Rosales. But we talk about the inexperience and some of the rough edges. Rosales has a draw against Raymond Chacon, who had a record of 6-22. So that right there, that result is a dose of reality to whoever's handling this career. Another good right hand by Rosales.
Yeah, and that was a 1-2 combination that sent Arroyo kind of reeling on his heels, at least momentarily.
See, this is where you see the inexperience. Not a lot of body shots from Rosales, as he had Arroyo in a little bit of trouble and had him bent over.
Right, and I agree that's where he needs to aim those punches when Arroyo's back is to the ropes.
So 4 down, 2 to go here. Scheduled 6th rounder in the featherweight division.
Let's see if Arroyo was really hurt. It was a right hand grazing the top of his head. Arroyo lands a hook, but Rosales comes back with a hook cross combination. And yes, that right hand did momentarily stun the journeyman.
The fucking hook. Don't stop that hook. That hook is working for you. Okay? Keep working that fucking hook. How do you feel? Yeah. Okay? Ahorita first half of the round, quiero que te muevas, güey.
Okay, dámela.
Agua.
And as we begin round number 5 here, we go back to Twitter. And Paulo Vega checking in from Colombia, tuned into Hollywood Fight Night. All I can say to that is, Viva Colombia.
Seeing some aggression, a little bit of early pressure here in round 5 from Arroyo.
Arroyo is pesky. He's not going gently into the night here.
Arroyo, you know, he's got more experience. Maybe he was pacing himself in the first 3 or 4 rounds, and now he's going to test the young man's stamina. Arroyo is landing shots. Rosales does seem to have a solid chin. Not that Arroyo's known for his power.
And as you see Rosales throw these combinations, Doug, the one thing that's missing, even when he throws a 1-2, is the cleanup hook, either up top or to the body. And again, this is where you have to piece together a young prospect and really almost teach him how to fight, paint by numbers.
Yeah, and this is something that Mr. Lira can go back and watch, perhaps with Mr. Rosales, and they can point out, like, okay, you had him right here. We needed more, you know, inside punches. We needed more uppercuts. We needed more body shots here. You need to follow these right hands up with left hooks. Maybe you could have got this guy out of here or scored a knockdown. Easier said than done, because Arroyo just he keeps whenever, especially when his back's against the ropes, he's rolling and, you know, bobbing up and down. Oh, there was a nice right from Rosales. Nice a hook to the body followed by a right to the head from Rosales.
Every once in a while, Rosales will uncork a very good-looking right hand. Short, compact, right from the elbow, and he'll turn it over.
Yeah, that's his best punch. I think he needs to work on developing his jab more. Sometimes he just puts the left out there. He's not really working his jab. A nice crisp jab would serve him well, given his style.
Diez segundos, muchachos. 10 segundos. 10 seconds. Para la campana.
And that's the end of round number 5. Young Luis Rosales in full control. And let's go into that red corner. See what the sage Ben Lira has to tell his young
Ya caminando, eh. Luego camine rápido, no le dé tiempo que respire. Si se empieza a brincar, usted camine. Okay. Último round, chavos. Vamos a tocar guantes. ¿Cómo sienten? ¿Todo bien? Perfecto, gracias. Camine, tiéntelo. Okay. Tiéntelo con las manos. Cuando lo tienta de una mano, lo tienta la otra, no puede hacer nada. Okay. Y así es como lo mide y no se espere. Lo tienta, luego el siguiente golpe, el tercer golpe ya se lo va a soltar.
Walks into a right uppercut from Arroyo. Rosales does his best to work the journeyman over Whenever the journeyman's back touches the ropes, there's a nice, that's that short, compact lead right. The best punch from Rosales, I'd say.
And we begin this 6th and final round here between Luis Rosales and Guadalupe Arroyo. And going back to Twitter real fast, Jeremy Guillon checking in to Hollywood Fight Night. Jeremy, viva. Arroyo is game though, Doug. He is still sneaky, still throwing some hard punches out of left field once in a while. Some of them coming out of the southpaw stance that actually surprised Rosales.
Yeah, he's crafty.
He just did it again.
And he has an unorthodox style. And that's going to make a young guy like Rosales think. Because it's hard to anticipate. Okay, what punch is he going to throw now? You don't know where, what angle it's going to come from or what stance it's going to come from. Both guys are tired now. You see it in their body language.
And there is Ben Lira in the corner looking on. Luis Rosales in full control. Let's see how he finishes out this 6th round. There's about a minute 15 to go.
Ben Lira in his mid to late 70s, still going strong, still spry, still teaching the craft.
No se me espere, no se me espere. No se me espere. No se espere, ahí está cerquitas, ahí está. No se espere, no se espere. Luego. Luis, come on, no se espere. Otra vez, rápido. Pegue, luego, para que no se espere. Eso.
Ben Lira, best known for starting off the likes of Johnny Molina, working with Joseph Diaz, and now the right-hand man of Abel Sanchez.
Las dos manos, suéltese.
Constant presence in the corner of men like Murat Gassi and, of course, Gennady Golovkin. And you see Rosales here trying to pour it on, finishing off what has been a pretty solid effort for a fledgling young fighter looking to develop.
Yeah, Rosales has a lot of heart.
10 segundos, muchachos, 10 segundos. Para la campana.
Now, he's not content just to outbox Arroyo. He wants to work this guy over.
And there it is, 6 rounds in the books, Rosales and Arroyo. Doug, I'd say with Rosales, he's got a good right hand that he can build upon. Now the question is, can he build upon it?
Yeah, I would say he has a solid foundation. He's learned the fundamentals from Ben Lira. He just needs to add to that arsenal, I think. And we talked about it during the fight, some more head and upper body movement. And I saw more of that in the last 3 rounds than I did during the first 3 rounds. I think his jab could be more consistent. And I think you mentioned the cleanup punch. Yeah, if you can land it right, drop the hook if it's there.
That's one of the classic combinations is the jab, cross, hook, and then also head movement. He's got a very muscular upper body. Now he's going to be able to be a little bit more fluid with it in terms of moving his head. And as they say, not taking a picture after he punches. Oh, Mr. Boxrec Gray, Phil Greco, says Hollywood Fight Nights is looking solid. Wish there was one Cali club show a week so you could announce. Phil, we appreciate that.
Yeah, speaking of that, Jeremy Guillon said, you two are moonlighting tonight. I thought you did Golden Boy undercards. You guys sound good. Fun night of fights. Hey, we go where the money's at.
Yeah.
Come on.
And by the way, we come cheap, just so everyone knows.
Except for Al Heyman. I heard he's got money, so, you know.
All right, let's see who won this fight. Let's throw it up to Mr. Joe Martinez.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have it 60-54. Your winner by unanimous decision, and still undefeated, Luis Rosales.
Okay, it was a shutout, 60-54 across the board. Fairly easy call, but Mr. Arroyo certainly very game, tough, and steady.
That's how I had it.
Yeah, Luis Rosales is with Cynthia Conte. She is ready to talk to the victor. Cynthia.
Oh, congratulations. You know, when I spoke to you yesterday, you were very mild, and you're just like, I'm going in, I'm going to do my thing and win. You did it. You did your thing, and you won. How does it feel right now to get your hand raised again?
It feels really good, you know, especially because all my family and fans are here, and I hope they like the fight.
I don't think they liked, I think they really loved it. Listen to them. Are you happy? Are you excited? Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm very excited and happy.
And you know, you have legendary trainer Ben Lira. People don't know, Triple G's assistant trainer. To have him in your corner, how is that to know that you won and he was here to help you?
No, well, it's a very good start, and you know, I'm excited to see what's going on. We have ahead.
I'm doing good. You?
And how proud of you? How proud are you?
Great. It's great. You know, we're working together now, and so you know, we take the cobwebs out and work on things that you know he can improve on. But you know, as far as a win is a win, and that's probably the main thing of this right now while he's learning.
In these rounds right now, you guys were tiring out. I mean, you guys were going toe-to-toe in the second round. You kind of buzzed him. When did you know that you could take this fight?
After the second round, I knew I kind of had him. It was just a matter of trying to pick it out. But he had a pretty it's a different guard, you know. So, but little by little, we're gonna learn and take him out.
Did you notice he kept dropping his left? And yeah.
Try to put the hook in there, but he was able to move.
Well, good. We are very excited to see what's next for you. Congratulations. And a word to your fans, your family that are not here.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. Thank you.
I hear a lot of women in the audience for you.
Big family, big family.
All right, guys.
All right, Cynthia, thank you very much. So Luis Rosales comes out victorious. Once again, you are watching Hollywood Fight Night, brought to you by Tom Loeffler's 360 Promotions. I'm Steve Kim, joined by Doug Fisher. Our next bout of the night, Jose Casillas takes on my Garduno. That is the next bout of the night. 7 bouts total. Our main event, Ryan Blue Chip Martin, is in the main event, kicking off his 2018 campaign. I think we've got a few minutes to fill here. Doug, quick question. If May 5th, by chance, does not happen, someone asked me this on Twitter, and I'm going to relay this to you.
Sure.
With the ring championship, what happens with Canelo's status in your view?
Okay, if the fight is postponed or canceled because Canelo Alvarez has been suspended for the clenbuterol in his system for those 2 failed tests back in February, we would have to strip him per our policy. He would be stripped of the ring middleweight title. It would be made vacant, and he would also be dropped from the pound-for-pound list.
Okay, Cynthia Conte is up in the ring. Cynthia, take it away.
All right, guys, there's a postcard when you first sat down. Yes. If you guys don't have one, don't lie, okay? Because I know you guys probably filled it out. Fill it out, and then you see the Tecate girls walking around, give it to them because we are raffling a signed Triple G Canelo glove. Who wants this? Come on now. Yeah, I know. Why is it only the women that want this? Come on. Where are the guys? You guys are so quiet. What's going on here? I know, right? I think you guys need to drink some more Tecate and some Chivas. Come on now. Oh, this is the most quietest fight night I've ever heard. All right, guys, so make sure this glove, there's 2 gloves. So one of them's going to be a raffle, and the other one, I'm going to find the biggest Gennady fan and the biggest Canelo fan, because if not, I'm going to take the glove home myself. All right? So once you guys get it, give it to the Tecate girls, and we'll find out who won this glove.
And Doug, I'm getting the sense that maybe the audience is waiting for April 10th when the Nevada Commission has said, hey, Canelo, get in here.
Hey, that's a collector's item, whether the rematch goes off on as scheduled or not.
And again, our next bout of the night, Jose Casillas taking on May Garduno, and it is Joe Martinez taking it away.
As we look at the tail of the tape, Casillas making his pro debut, 18 years old. And these guys are bantamweights or junior featherweights. Actually, Casillas was under 118. So he is a bantamweight facing a junior featherweight. And I love fights where you have a guy making his pro debut because there's just a very special energy when it's the first time that fighter is under those bright lights without the headgear, without the big amateur gloves. And he usually has his entire family and friends and everybody from his gym there to support that. Now we're looking at Garduno right here from San Bernardino. 0-1.
And his opponent tonight, fighting out of the red corner, making his professional debut from Maywood, California, Jose Casillas.
And there's that young man from Maywood, which has a very noted gym, the Maywood Boxing Club, which has some of the toughest sparring in Southern California.
No doubt about it.
And as you can tell by the audience's reaction, certainly a big occasion for Casillas and his friends and family who have made it out here to the Avalon, Hollywood, as he makes his professional debut.
And that's Mando Huerta, who runs and operates the Maywood Boxing Club, and his son is a fringe contender at junior lightweight or featherweight, Charles Huerta. We've seen a lot of his fights. Actually, I've seen a lot of Huerta's fights in sort of the club fight, theater fight setting.
All right, both fighters are in the ring. Let's go back up to Joe Martinez.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, 4 rounds this in the bantamweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing white trunks, he weighed officially 121 1/4 pounds. He enters the ring tonight for the second time as a professional, looking for victory number 1 from San Bernardino, California. Here is my Chato Garduno. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing turquoise, trimmed in black, weighed in officially 117 pounds. Tonight, he makes his professional debut, fighting out of Maywood, California. Here is Jose Casillas. And your referee in charge of the action, Jack Race.
This is right at the line. I'm going to let him work in here, especially if it comes up. It's going to come up. Okay. Same thing with him, mouthpiece. Pelea duro, pelea limpio, toca la mano, buena suerte.
All right, your referee for this 4-rounder is Jack Reese. Once again, Jose Casillas out of Maywood, California, making his pro debut against May Garduno. 0-1 from San Bernardino.
Ready?
And Doug TV Boxeo on Twitter says Jose Casillas has big shoes to fill. Urbano Antillon, the best boxer to ever come out of Maywood. Congrats to the kid for turning pro tonight.
Speaking of that Maywood Boxing Club and some of those legendary sparring sessions, which you and I have witnessed, I spied Daniel Ponce de Leon in the corner of Casillas. Former junior featherweight title holder.
Urbano Antillon was a solid lightweight contender. Had a really memorable fight with Humberto Soto, I believe, at the end of 2010.
That was a fight of the year candidate. That was sensational. That was at the
Anaheim Pond,
yeah, or the Honda Center now. Hey, Casillas looks like he's got some talent. Well, but he's right there to be hit, though. There's some nerves to go along with his talent.
Again, move your head. The other guy can punch back.
It's different. It's different when you're fighting a pro fight for the very first time. And you see when he lets his hands go, he's fast, he's fluid, there's power, there's speed.
One thing's very evident about Casillas. He has a very educated left hand. He could throw a good solid jab, but he could hook off the jab and also throw an uppercut right down the middle.
It seems very natural to him. But he has been clipped a few times already.
Yeah. Garduno 0-1. He fought in May of 2007, losing a 4-rounder to Mario Hernandez at the DoubleTree in Ontario.
I like that jab to the belly from Casillas. Sorry, Casillas. Casillas timed that right cross just right. He fell just short of it, but that's the kind of punch that can drop a fighter because he was landing it. I mean, he launched it just as his opponent launched his own right hand, and there the right hand landed.
You know, Garduno's sneaky though. He punches right in between some of these fast combinations of Casillas. Casillas has to mind his P's and Q's defensively.
Yeah, I think Garduno has a tighter defense, at least just, you know, with his gloves. He seems fairly adept at blocking and picking shots off.
And that's it for round number 1, the first under the books for the professional career of Jose Casillas, making his pro debut. Again, we are scheduled for 4 rounds here at the Avalon Hollywood.
Trata de metértele por los lados, te me quedas franco y él te dispara. Trata de hacer movimientos y irte metiendo poco a poco. Lo aprendiste 2 veces muy bien, ahorita todo está bien. O sea, ahorita para mí vas muy bien, estás respondiendo perfecto. Acuérdate, cuando él te ataque, pon más rico el cuerpo y contragolpea, mucho el contragolpe.
Just a little redness and swelling from a punch on that eye. Correct.
Casillas landing a 1-2 and then going to work with his left hand, working the body and head of Garduno. That's a beautiful left to the body, left uppercut combination from Casillas. And there was that right that I was talking about that was so well timed from the teenager.
As we begin round number 2, quickly, Adam Zimmer on Twitter says 3:30 a.m. here in the UK, but good fights and good commentary is helping me stay awake. Thank you, Adam.
A little bit higher, Jose.
I like that jab to the belly from Casillas again. That left hook to the body seems very natural for Casillas.
You could see he has offensive tools. That much is clear early on.
That's a Maywood Boxing Club fighter right there. Offense-minded. And he's definitely going to have to learn his defense. You got to blend it. You got to blend the defense with the offense.
Doug, you go back to the history of the Maywood Boxing Club. I remember you were there many sessions. Young Edgar or Edwin Valero.
Yeah.
Jorge Linares cut his teeth there. Daniel Ponce de Leon. Abner Mares. Leo Santa Cruz.
Giovanni
Segura. Carlos Molina.
And a lot of fighters from other countries, from South America and from Japan. Sometimes I would go there early in the mornings on like a Saturday, and everybody was Japanese. It was Rudy Hernandez's connection.
Alfred Angulo would be there on a regular basis.
That's right, you're right. I should have had a webcam going 24/7 there.
That Carlos Cuadra spent many days there, and according to TV Boxeo, young Casillas sparred many rounds with him. Carlos Cuadra spent much of the camp for the Roman Gonzalez fight in Maywood with Rudy Hernandez.
Garduno's putting some smart pressure on him. He's not letting his hands go a lot, but he is economical with those punches. And he missed with that wild sort of right haymaker.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He is absolutely giving Casillas something to think about.
He is. He's getting closer. He's walking him down without moving his hands, and there was a right hand. And I tell you what, he commits to that right hand. He's missed with most of them. Oh. Casillas didn't. Yeah, Casillas didn't miss with that right hand.
But Casillas has to be very careful. These are wide, wild right hands. He's got to stay right in the pocket and keep his chin tucked in.
That's true. When he lets his right hand go, he does open up. He drops his left a little bit.
And that's end of round number 2. May Garduno making it very difficult for young Casillas.
You know, round 1 was competitive, and that was a pretty good round for Garduno.
Todo está perfecto ahorita, Mike. Te digo, no te me quedes nada más medio franco. Quiero que te muevas a medio. Dale agua, dale agua. Dale agua, Pedro. Ahí está, ahí está, ahí está. Oh.
¿Cómo estás? Bien. ¿Está bien?
Bien, bien. Dile. ¿Cómo estás?
Garduno on top of the 18-year-old Casillas and landed hooks and rights, but Casillas landed a beautiful right cross off the ropes. I scored round 2 for Garduno, Steve, because of this sequence, him working the young man over the ropes, even though that was a beautiful right cross that Casillas landed.
You know, when Casillas looks back at this tape with this trainer, the one thing they're going to remind him is bring your hands back high.
That's not happening.
Real quickly, battling Duenas is perfect combo. Watching ringtv.com, Hollywood Fight Nights at the bar with Dougie and Steve, and he's got pictures of alcohol.
Nice.
Yes, thank you.
I'll take that shot glass. You can have the beer.
So we begin round number 3, 4 rounds here. Let's see if the young, highly touted Casillas can separate himself from the tough Garduno.
He's going to have to flash a sharp jab. There it is. He was just pawing with it. And he's finding out that this guy who is 0-1 coming into this fight can fight. And Garduno is sort of attacking without any sort of respect from the young man. He senses something. Maybe he senses he's physically stronger. Maybe he feels like he's tasted the best punches from Casillas and can take it.
You know, we talk about
a nice head and upper body movement from Garduno right there.
Yeah, and we talk about man strength. Keep this in mind. May Garduno, 31 years old. So this is a physically mature man that Casillas is facing early on.
Yeah, a teenager against a man. Oh, that right uppercut landed from Garduno.
Garduno putting on the heat here in round number 3. This has certainly not been a layup for Casillas in his professional debut.
No, this is trial by fire. We saw some nice upper body movement from Casillas and a right cross that backed Garduno off. Oh!
Short right hand sends Garduno down, turning things around here, and the towel is thrown in. This fight is over.
Wow, that was fast. That was a dramatic turn of events. And I tell you what, Casillas needed to have that moment because it looked like Garduno was taking over the fight.
That was certainly very, very sudden. May Garduno having a pretty good round number 3, smothering and crowding Casillas, but Casillas with a couple of punches off the rope, and then it looked to me like a short, compact right hand sends him down in his own corner.
It might have cut Garduno as well. Garduno has a cut on the corner of his left eye.
And the mandatory aid was not needed as a towel was thrown in from the corner. So Jose Casillas got a pretty good experience tonight. And Doug, let's take a look at how this ended up.
Garduno's working the body of the young man. There's that right uppercut I told you about. And I thought Garduno was winning this fight. Or not winning, yeah. You know what, I scored round 2 for Garduno.
Short right hand, right from the shoulder.
He's backing him off. See here, Garduno, oh yeah, and Garduno ate that right cross from Casillas just as he was loading up with his own right cross. So he carried his own momentum into that punch. And that makes it much harder.
power cannot be taught. You have to be born with it. And it's certainly, I don't want to say bailed out Casillas, but Casillas was certainly having a real tough night at the office, and he improves to 1-0.
He had a fight on his hands.
All right,
that was a fight.
Let's get the particulars from Joe Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 1 minute 54 seconds. Round number 3. Referee Jack Reese puts a halt to this bout. Your winner by KO victory in his professional debut from Maywood, California, Jose Casillas.
So Jose Casillas wins his professional debut, and he ends it with a flourish, certainly putting an exclamation mark on what was a pretty solid night of competition that he was given by Garduno, who did not go gently into the night, but he was stopped in round number 3. And our very own Cynthia Conte will talk to the victor, who comes out 1-0. Cynthia, take it away.
Congratulations on your pro debut. How do you feel right now?
Really excited, happy. There's not enough words to describe what I'm feeling right now. I gotta say thank you to everyone that came. Yeah. My mom, my dad's up there in the stands too somewhere. I just want to thank everyone out here for coming, and I also want to thank Garduno, because he's one hell of a competitor. To step into the ring takes a lot of balls, and he proved that tonight. I also want to thank Tom Lawfer for the opportunity. Really grateful, really grateful.
Okay, so they're showing the replay right here. They were showing it, because I was going to ask, what were you thinking when you were in the corner with him? You had him, the nice right cross, both of you were going, but he fell over and you just kept going.
Well.
Here it is. Let's turn. Tell me what was going through your mind right here.
I was trying to go after him, but at the same time, not be too crazy. Like right there, I threw a crazy right hand, which could have been the end of me. And I just caught him at a good time. He came across with the right hand, my hand beat him to the punch, and that's the end of that.
Well, you know what? That was a beautiful victory. Congratulations. What do you want to tell your fans? I mean, this is a great moment for you. You just won your first pro debut fight.
Thanks, guys. Hey, thank you for the support. Bell Wrestling for life. For life. Woo!
All right, guys. Thank you. Back to you guys.
All right, so the local Jose Casillas with a successful pro debut. Doug, I don't know what his promotional situation is. I don't know if he's attached with anybody, but he certainly has offensive tools.
Yeah, and I think he has the potential of being an attraction because of that fan-friendly style. You see the genuine emotion of a young man making that transition from amateur to pro. And I like his look. I like his fighting style, but his look is kind of throwback to me. It kind of reminds me of Mondo Ramos or Bobby Chacon, you know, when Bobby Chacon was the schoolboy. And of course, he's obviously just out of high school, talking about his high school wrestling team there.
Yeah, and our next bout, I believe, is Sergey Bawa Chuck taking on Lucius Johnson, what many pundits believe is the best pure fight on paper of the night. Doug,
Ryan Scalia's seal of approval for that fight, folks. Tune in.
And if he gives it a viva, we give it a viva. Real quickly, Doug, hold on. I think Cynthia Conte has to take care of some business here. Let's go back up top to Miss Conte.
I know it's a little important, but we have something even more important. We have the Gennady Canelo glove. Did you guys fill it out? Because if you didn't, too bad. Not my fault. All right, guys, I'm going to find out who is going to get this beautiful signed glove in the next 1 second. Ready? Oh, it's a girl. Okay. Miss Carmen Medina. Okay, Carmen, are you in the house? Where are you? Come on up. And I'm going to check if it's really you. So pull out your ID, please. Carmen Medina? Where? What? Carmen? No, that's not Carmen. Stop it, girls. Those are my girls. Carmen, are you here? Okay, if you don't come in the next, come on. Okay, until they tell me we've got to pull another card.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come on. Okay, well, all right, well.
Snooze, you lose.
I know, you snooze, you lose.
Poor
I hope
Carmen.
you weren't in the bathroom, if you were at the bar. Sorry. All right. Oops. Okay, now I pulled 2. All right, this is the winner, right? Wait a minute, hold on. Look at this, let me see this email, hold on. Okay. Oh, wait, where, Carmen? Oh, hi, okay. Sorry, luckily I did not say who this was. Don't boo. She could have been in the bathroom, guys, come on. Come on up. Oh, okay, she's way up there, it's all right. Congratulations. Yes, it's legit. Yeah, I told you. Yes, there you go, here you go. You get to keep it.
Where do I go?
Come on in, this is your glove. Can I give this to you? Go for it. Pose. Oh wait, it's upside down. There you go. Do not boo, guys, all right? I have one more glove for you, and it's not gonna be a raffle, so whoever the biggest Canelo fan is in here and the biggest Gennady fan, you better come find me because you're gonna have to fight for this glove. All right? Can you guys give her a round of applause, please? A little louder. A little louder, guys. You guys suck, man. Oh my God. All right, guys. Okay. All right, well, thank you to our sponsor, Tecate. And you drink up, guys. Drink up. The night is still young. It's fight night, guys. All right. Have a good night, guys. Come on, drink.
At Chavez Fight Club, we believe there's a fighter in all of us. A mind that's always moving, thinking, sparring, and a heart that won't be knocked down. We believe in staying devoted to the fight, because every dream is worth fighting for. On the rise to the top, hard work should be rewarded, and success always shared. What are you fighting for?
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, moving on in our action tonight. Hollywood Fight Night, 6 rounds of middleweights. And making his way to the ring first, fighting out of the blue corner from Compton, California, Lucius Johnson.
And there he is. And there he is, Lucius Johnson from the COMPTON. He is 26 years old with a record of 4-2-1. And yes, that is LL Cool J in the background saying, Mama said knock you out. Let's go back to Joe Martinez.
Middleweight from Vinnytsia, Ukraine, Sergey Bawa Chuck.
And Bawa Chuck in the red corner out of the Ukraine, 22 years old. He works out of the noted summit in Big Bear, California, under the direction of that man right there, the always outspoken Abel Sanchez.
And folks who haven't seen Bawa Chuck fight are going to like his style. He is he's a thin man. Doesn't look like he has a lot in a way of power or physical strength, but he is strong, and he has a very aggressive style. Works the body a lot. I think Ryan Scalia calls him Ukrainian Margarito.
All right, so on paper, according to Men Like, Ryan Scalia, King Hipster, this is not the main event, but maybe the best fight of the card. Let's go up to Joe Martinez.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds middleweight action, and here we go. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks, he weighed in officially 162.5 pounds. In 7 professional bouts, his record 4 victories, 2 defeats, 1 draw, 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from and fighting out of Compton, California, here is the Bulldog, Lucius Johnson! And next his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing blue, trimmed in white, he weighed in officially 152.75 pounds. In 6 bouts as a professional, he is perfect. 6 victories, all 6 wins coming by way of knockout. The undefeated middleweight from Vinica, Ukraine. Here is El Flaco, Sergey Bawa Chuck. And your referee in charge of the action, Rudy Barragan.
We're going to go 6 rounds, okay? Obey my commands and protect yourselves at all times, okay? Good luck to you both.
So our main event is set. Bawa Chuck against Lucius Johnson. 6 rounds. Doug, here's the tail of the tape.
Yeah, these guys are middleweights. They're really, both guys are really more like welterweights / junior middleweights. You see that Bawa Chuck is 4 years younger, and he has a slight height advantage, which is very rare for Johnson. Johnson is used to being the taller fighter.
See Johnson early on pressing the attack, playing the role of the aggressor, which I think Bawa Chuck would absolutely welcome. This is his style of fight if Johnson's going to keep doing this.
Yeah, I don't think Johnson will. I think what Johnson is trying to do is come out and earn some respect and take some of the play away from Bawa Chuck. If he did his homework on Bawa Chuck, he knows that he's a stalker, that he likes to come forward, so he wants to go out there and command the center of the ring. But really, Johnson might be at his best when he's doing a stick and move strategy. Because he's got the height, he's got the reach, he's got a really good educated jab. And nice lateral movement.
Oh, that was a good
oh my goodness.
Fight back, Lucius, fight back. There you go.
People, we
got a lot going on in the span of seconds.
Everyone hitting the canvas.
Your knee touch the floor, okay, let's go.
Box. An eventful round number 1 between Johnson and Bawa Chuck.
Yeah, I'd never seen Johnson wobbled or rocked before. He was hurt by Bawa Chuck, but it was Bawa Chuck who tasted canvas.
And it looks like a mouthpiece has been dislodged from Lucius Johnson. And we're going to get a momentary respite here in what's been an action-packed first 90 seconds in round number 1. This fight has been as advertised early on. And you can see Johnson a couple of times in round number 1 has gone into the southpaw stance.
Yes, he does that. He switches stances. He's a switch hitter.
And Doug, I think you were there at the Forum when he fought Ferdinand Karaboyan back at the Forum.
Karaboyan was winning that fight, but going into the final round, Johnson had the young man, the hot young prospect, out on his feet.
Karaboyan, I believe, is now signed with Golden Boy Promotions and managed by Ronda Rousey.
That is correct.
Keep him up, Lucius.
Both guys have the power to hurt each other. Johnson is I think he's, at least he started this fight as the quicker of the two.
You know what though, Doug? This early knockdown of Bawa Chuck certainly has not dissuaded him. He is as aggressive as ever.
He's not one to get discouraged.
Stop. Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
I think Bawa Chuck has fought well since the knockdown. Hard round to score, too.
And that's it. 3 minutes down. We got 5 more scheduled. Bawa Chuck, many jumped out early, pressed the advantage, and hit the canvas in round number 1. It's been a very eventful fight thus far.
Yeah, and because of that knockdown, I'm scoring the opening round for Johnson. However, I'm scoring it 10-9 because Johnson was hurt in that round, and Bawa Chuck took over maybe the last 30 seconds of this bout.
And
there was a right hand and you know, a ref could have called that a technical knockdown because the rope saved Johnson from hitting canvas, really. Bawa Chuck is pressing his advantage, trying to hurt Johnson further as Johnson is tied up in the ropes. And Johnson goes down. Now that was after Bawa Chuck had already tasted canvas.
Doug, I've never seen a fighter that's get knocked down actually score a knockdown of himself. I think we've seen it all now, but let's see what happens here in round number 2. Bawa Chuck and Johnson. 6 rounds scheduled in the junior middleweight division.
I don't think.
Oh, good body shot.
Yes, exactly, and that hurt Johnson. He reacted to it. I don't think Johnson needs to stand or stay in the pocket with Bawa Chuck. I think he needs to get off and move around the Ukrainian.
Well, he's not a natural counterpuncher, as Johnson, so he needs to either be first or he's going to really have some problems as Bawa Chuck is coming down like a landslide downhill on him.
I agree, and I think it would behoove Johnson to establish his jab from a distance. There's a nice jab.
Well, yeah, Bawa Chuck is certainly a pressure-swarming fighter. This is the type of guy that Abel Sanchez really likes to train. Another good left hook to the body.
And Bawa Chuck's technique has improved since the last time I saw him fight. I called one of his fights along with Beto Duran, I believe on the undercard of Canelo Alvarez Gennady Golovkin 1. That was last September. And he was a real swarmer in that fight. In this fight, he's a little more technically sound. And I think there's more leverage on his punches.
Let him go, let him go.
You know, just looking at their body language, it seems to me that Bawa Chuck is much more comfortable. Let's go to Cynthia Conte with the stablemate of Bawa Chuck, Murat Gassiev.
He do very well, but this guy almost finished. He need a little bit more pressure, but he's still dangerous. It's good fight for Sergey right now.
What does Sergey need to do?
He doing everything fine. Just
let him go, Lucius.
Be patient. That's it.
What is Lucius not doing?
No, he try beat Sergey. He have good boxing school, good heart. Don't give up. Right now we see very, very good fight.
I'll let you get back to the fight. Thank you, sir, Murat.
And round number 2 has been controlled by Bawa Chuck, hurting Johnson to the body visibly a couple of times, and there's another left hook to the body.
Yeah, the left hook is landing with leverage, and the right hand to the head is also landing with authority in this round.
Yeah, just looking at the facial expression of Johnson at the end of round number 2, certainly looked very distressed from the assault of the young man from Ukraine.
Much better round. So what I want you to do is when he comes to you, step to one side and go ahead. Don't try to hit him with this hand. Try to turn him like this and hit him with the other. All right? Because he's coming in with his head down. Turn him to the way you want to turn him to hit him with the second shot. Not the first shot, the second shot.
Постарайся его ударить не первым ударом, а вторым. Первым ударом подготовь, разверни, вторым ударом ударь. Понял?
You understand that? Okay.
Bawa Chuck in close, works a right uppercut followed by a hook to the chest, measuring himself, lands the left right under the armpit, followed by a straight right to the jaw, backs Johnson to the ropes. Johnson was still dangerous in this round. He was firing back in spots, but it was Bawa Chuck who was in command.
And keep this in mind, the announced weight, there is a 10-pound weight advantage for Johnson. But
he looks bigger.
Yeah, he does, but Bawa Chuck has had no problems hurting him and visibly affecting him with his shots throughout the first 2 frames.
Right, technically this is a middleweight bout, but Bawa Chuck is a welterweight. Bawa Chuck is a welterweight who routinely spars with junior middleweights and middleweights. And if I don't think the height and reach of Johnson is going to be as much as a problem as it would be for most prospects, because Bawa Chuck, one of his sparring partners, is 6'4".
And Bawa Chuck certainly has not been shy about trudging forward and really controlling the act. Oh, another good right hand.
Yeah. He and Johnson ran right into that right hand. Johnson's got a very good chin.
He does, but you know, one thing I've noticed, when he is in that southpaw stance, he is very open to that right hand, which is one of the classic punches that you will use against the southpaw. The Bawa Chuck now really just wading in with a lot of confidence.
I think Johnson should use the uppercut whenever, because Bawa Chuck kind of leans forward when he gets in close. And again, the straight right for Bawa Chuck is on target.
And Johnson's legs seem to be a little bit wobbly here, Doug. And his mouthpiece comes out again as he takes a left hook to the body.
Yes, it was from that body shot. There's the uppercut from Johnson. It is there for him to land, but it's hard. Oh, he's hurt.
Another left hook to the body.
Come on, fight back, Lucius, fight back.
I think you could call this Abel Sanchez Mexican-style fighting, and right now, Johnson is really fighting for his life here, getting drowned by a swarm of leather.
He's still firing back, but it doesn't look like his legs are firmly under him. Bawa Chuck has some very good reflexes. He's seeing everything in there, but he's also getting away from a lot of these counter shots from Johnson.
It's been all Bawa Chuck here in round number 3, pounding away to the body with the occasional right hand over the top and another right hand.
He does not let his opponents breathe.
Doug,
and Johnson right now is gasping for air.
No, it's a very crafty attack. He sets up a lot of stuff downstairs with the left hand. He comes right over the top with the right. There's another right hand.
Come on, show me something, Lucius. Show me something.
Referee Rudy Barragan is watching this fight very closely. I think he's concerned for Johnson.
About 15 seconds ago, he said, "Show me something." Bawa Chuck swarming. Both hands, and the fight is waved off, I believe. Yes, it is.
And I wonder if that was from the corner. I see Jerry Rosenberg in Johnson's corner.
Well, hold on. Did they actually call the fight? I think they did. I see the ringside physicians in the corner of Johnson.
Now, in the state of California, the ringside physician or the referee can stop the fight, and it's very rare that a referee will disagree with the ringside doctor.
Well, Bawa Chuck runs to 7-0 against a pretty game guy in Lucius Johnson, who had a moment in round number 1, sending him to the canvas. But for the most part, you see why many people are high on the fan-friendly style of this guy from the Ukraine who trains out of Big Bear. He is a swarming, attacking fighter. He's going to be a problem in these longer fights.
Yeah, and he's one of these Ukrainians that did not have an extensive amateur career. That's what we're used to from, notable professional Ukrainian boxers. They had a great amateur background, but you told me that he had a very limited amateur background, but he's learned a lot up in Big Bear Lake.
All right, let's get the particulars from Joe Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes, 47 seconds into round number 3. The blue corner requests this bout be stopped. Therefore, referee Rudy Barragan puts a halt to it. We have your winner by TKO victory. He is still undefeated, El Flaco Sergey Bawa Chuck.
Lucius, get his gloves. His gloves, get her, take them off.
And Bawa Chuck certainly making a statement here at the Avalon in Hollywood. The initial edition of Hollywood Fight Night on 360 Promotions. He is now 7-0, and he will make his way as the victor to Cynthia Conte. Get a few words to what that young man has to say. Certainly a young man worth keeping an eye on. And let's go to Cynthia Conte now with the victor.
Can you translate? Congratulations, you are still undefeated. Okay, this fight was stopped. What was going on in your mind? I mean, his legs were out. His legs were out. What was going through your mind to know that you're going to finish this fight?
Да ничего, я рад. Мысли, что не доработал в этом бою, думаю над ошибками.
He's already thinking about his mistakes that he made in the fight, so I mean, he's happy he won, and he's just thinking about what he needs to work on.
Did it bother you that he was changing it southpaw to orthodox? Did that kind of throw your game off a little bit?
Ну, я привык работать с левшой, с правшой, я спаррингую и с теми, так что то, что он менял стойку, для меня это не было проблемой.
He's used to sparring with guys who are southpaw and regular stand, so he's perfectly fine. He's comfortable.
Well, congratulations. Your stablemates right there, Murat, all of them have been cheering you on. And all of Ukraine is watching you. Can you send out a message to your fans? You could say it in your in Russian. Say a message.
Всем болельщикам передаю привет. Спасибо, что вы болеете за меня. Болейте дальше, я буду стараться радовать вас.
He wants to say hello to all of his fans and thank him for supporting him and continue to support him, and he will continue working and delivering great results for them.
Well, there you go. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. There you guys go, undefeated fighter.
All right, thank you, Cynthia. Sergey can certainly Bawa Chuck leather, and Ryan Casillas says he's going to be in some wars, should see some of his World Series of Boxing fights nonstop. And James Kogi, 956 boxing coach, says Ukraine kid is going to make good TV fights.
Yes, absolutely. At the very least, he will be a fan-friendly. He's better than a club fighter.
No,
he is a TV fighter. He's somebody that fans would welcome to watch on a Showtime Showbox or on ESPN, and he's improved since his World Series of Boxing days, and from some of the earlier pro fights that I saw from him. His technique is much better. His power has also improved, and I think his defense has improved.
All right, let's go ringside. I believe Mr. Tom Loeffler will be saying a few words to the audience.
Thanks, Joe. This is being streamed worldwide on ringtv.com. We appreciate everyone coming out. This is the first night of Hollywood Fight Night, so there'll be more to come. We appreciate everyone's support, all the people upstairs. World-class fights. We've had some wars tonight. We got the beautiful Cynthia Conte with us for Ring TV. You're the host. We got Freddie Roach over here hiding in the VIP booth. Say hi, Freddie. Trainer extraordinaire. We got Murat Gassiev. Where's Murat? Murat, stand up. Unified Cruiserweight Champion, Murat Gassiev. Again, we appreciate everyone coming out. Thanks again for all the support, and we look to do many more of these shows here at the Hollywood. Oh, and don't forget, after the fights are over, it's going to turn into a club. We're going to get rid of all the chairs here. We're going to have the Tecate girls dancing here in the ring, and it's going to turn into a Hollywood dance club.
All right, Tom. You've already introduced all your people. The main event is about to happen right now. How excited are you to see Ryan Blue Chip Martin come in here? Maybe his oh my go, or maybe not.
Ryan Martin, world-class fighter. He's headlining the show. Brian Seballo is making his pro debut. We got Victor Cruz in the house up here in the VIP booth from the New York Giants. So we really appreciate all the celebrities coming out tonight.
Okay, Brian Seballo is going to be, he was your first fighter that you signed to 360. He's making his pro debut. How do you think this is going to all play out? He's coming from Brooklyn, New York. How's this going to happen? How do you see this playing out right now?
You know, Brian's got a...
Give me your prediction.
Brian Seballo's got an interesting story. His parents are from Dominican. He was born in Puerto Rico. He grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and he's making his pro debut here in Hollywood, California.
Yes, he is. he has an outstanding amateur career.
Yeah.
And he's ready to show all of you guys why he belongs on this stage, why he belongs on your promotions, and you guys are gonna find out. You're gonna see some really, really good fights. And remember, we still have another Triple G Canelo glove. Where is it?
We got one more glove to give out as a raffle. We got the editor of Ring Magazine, Doug Fisher here, Steve Kim.
My boss.
We got Triple G merchandise outside. We appreciate our sponsors, Tecate, Chavez, MGM Resorts. So we really appreciate all the support.
All right, guys, so keep drinking. Yes. I'm held. It's Tecate, come on now.
Won't get thirsty tonight.
Oh yeah, and everyone, follow your phone, pull out your phones. Remember your hashtag Hollywood Fight Nights. Yep. And then also, what else? What else do you want people to know? I mean, you have another fight coming up. Follow on Twitter at 360 Promotions, right. 360 Boxing. And like the Facebook. You guys, we need some likes. Come on, we need some likes on 360 Promotions. Because who wants more fights like this? Whoops, whoa.
Getting too close to the mics.
I know, I'm a little too close. Come on, guys. This is Tuesday night. I know you guys have work tomorrow. You guys have school. But who cares? This is fight night, guys. Come on, this is Hollywood.
All right, we got 3 more fights coming up. Abel Sanchez is training the main event. Ryan Martin, he just trained Bawa Chuck. So we're looking forward to some more great action tonight. Thank you all for coming out.
All right, bye. Yes.
And there was the words of Mr. 360 Promotions, Tom Loeffler, the only promoter that's ever insisted that we have tequila while we're broadcasting.
I think he's had a few shots himself.
Yeah, so if we sound a lot smoother than we did, let's say 2 hours ago, there's your reason. But anyway, before we get to Brian Seballo and the main event, we have the next fight featuring Anthony Chavez. Let's go back up to Joe Martinez. And there he is, Carlos Apodaca, with a record on BoxRec of 1-7-2. His last outing was February 17th, where he did win a 4-round decision over Cesar Partida.
And his opponent tonight, fighting out of the red corner from San Bernardino, he is undefeated, too pretty, Anthony Chavez Fuentes.
And being led to the red corner is Anthony Chavez with a record of 4-0. And there you see him on the right, a very familiar figure to boxing fans in Southern California, Henry Ramirez, who trains and manages this young prospect out of Riverside, California, who began his career in 2017, notching 4 victories. And for Mr. Ramirez, there is indeed life after Chris Ariola. All right, both men are in the ring. Let's go back up to Joe Martinez.
And we're set to go, ladies and gentlemen, once again, 4 rounds this in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black and white. He weighed officially 125 1/2 pounds. He enters the ring tonight for the 9th time as a professional, hailing from Sonora, Mexico. Here is Carlos Apodaca. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wears black trunks trimmed in zebra stripes. He weighed in 126 1/2 pounds. Perfect in 4 professional bouts, 4 victories, no defeats, with 1 win coming by way of knockout from San Bernardino, California. Here is too pretty Anthony Chavez Fuentes. And your referee in charge of the action, Jack Brees.
These are good right here. Henry. You want to do this? You want me to let me? These are up a little bit above his waistline. I'm going to let him work in here. It's not going to make a difference. Mouthpiece, mouthpiece. Pelea duro, pelea limpio, okay? Fight hard, fight clean, fight, touch each other's gloves, and good luck to both.
All right, Jack Reese has these young men touch them up. We are now ready for our next feature. 4 rounds in the featherweight class between Chavez and Apodaca.
Not much separating these guys. Chavez is 2 inches taller. Their reach is equal.
You ready?
Both very young.
Ready?
We mentioned the 4 bouts of Chavez last year's last one came in December, a 4-round decision over Sergio Quiroz, who himself at that point was 4-0. Chavez has fought mainly in the Southern California area, fighting in venues in Costa Mesa, Anaheim, and Irvine, and now Hollywood here at the Avalon.
Steve, have you ever seen boxing trunks that low on a fighter? It looks like underwear. It looks like underwear with a skirt on.
You know, it does give me shades of Charmbe Mitchell.
Yeah, but Charmbe Mitchell had a waistband on top of his trunks.
You're right, he did.
Have you ever seen that much belly button?
Yeah.
And that much under a young man's belly button in a prize fight?
You know,
I have not.
I still remember when Charmbe had his trunks pulled down by, I believe, Lupe Pintor on USA.
That's good. You're right.
As I date myself. But you're right, that is not much of a belt line there.
No, there is no belt line. As he eats a right hand from Chavez, who was a solid amateur. Apodaca seems scrappy.
Stop, no one punch.
Apodaca is actually very sneaky. He actually ran Chavez into a right hand there.
He's like a flea.
You know, generally, guys who wear trunks like Apodaca are very slick, flashy fighters.
Exactly. When you have trunks like that, it means you can move and you've got some speed and you like to be flashy.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't ever see Sergey Bawa Chuck wearing that.
No, that's not the cloth Bawa Chuck is cut from.
You know, I think if any fighter did that at the summit, they'd have their bags packed the next morning.
No, you can't do the Hector Camacho thing there. Oh,
left hook.
And that sneaky left hook buckled the legs of Chavez.
That was a lead left hook that flashed out of nowhere, and Apodaca, heavy underdog here, pressing the advantage with 30 seconds to go in the first round.
Steve, earlier this evening we said you can't judge a fighter by his record. Apodaca is 1-7, and obviously you can't judge a fighter by his boxing trunks. Nice straight right landed by Chavez. Chavez clearly has the height and reach advantage here. He needs to use that reach by working that jab.
Cynthia Contes with a familiar face to the local boxing fans. Cynthia.
Yes, I am. Mr. Vaughn is Martrosian. Okay, I see you over here. I saw you cheering on Lucius. Unfortunately, that fight was stopped. Was that a good stoppage?
I think it was a good stoppage. Lucius looked dehydrated to me, and I think it was a good stoppage with the referee.
Okay, and when you watch fight nights, they're bringing back fight nights here in Hollywood. We love fight nights on a work night. What is, bro? You know, this is like the lifeline of boxing to bring you up to the big arenas. What are your thoughts about this?
I mean, whenever I see shows like this, it reminds me of the Rocky movies. When I started fighting, it was because of the Rocky movies, and to see it live, this is amazing. You know, you get to see the new guys coming up, the prospects, and the future world champion. This is what you need to bring boxing back. This is a great show.
Well, I know that you're fighting. Can you tell Ring TV fans, your fans, where are you fighting, who are you fighting for? And I know you're fighting for a beautiful WBC belt.
Yeah, well, I'm fighting April 26th. I signed with Don King Promotions. It's a tune-up fight, and then we're hoping to get June 9th
against Charlo. I'm shooting for that fight because I'm his mandatory right now. So hopefully we can make that fight happen.
All right, well, there you guys go. You heard from Vanes. You know, I hate taking people away from boxing because this is a good fight. I mean, you know, I'm trying to sneak over too. So make sure you guys tune into his fight. Is it going to be aired on anything? Do you know?
I think so, ESPN.
There you go, ESPN, guys. All right. Make sure you guys check out Vanes Martirosyan. I don't want to keep butchering your name. I don't want to butcher it.
You did a good job. You did a good job, yeah.
Thanks, guys. All right, get back to the fights.
All right, so Chavez and Apodaca here in round number 2, and Martirosyan, certainly one of the more bold tweeters in the world of boxing. Hashtag free Vanes. So let's see here if Chavez can get his bearings back and start to control things. He is the taller, rangier guy, Doug. I think he needs to get back to the jab and just really kind of neutralize a lot of this awkward movement of Apodaca.
Yeah, keep Apodaca at arm's length. Use the left jab to set up his straight right, and there it is again. Now that was an overhand right landed by Apodaca. And even before that left hook in the opening round buckled the legs of Chavez, I thought one of those right cross haymakers momentarily stunned Chavez.
You know, a lot of the times, though, Chavez falls into these counter shots. You've got to be able to maintain airspace and distance. Now, Chavez certainly is a pretty good technician with that front side, educated left hand, but when he moves inside no man's land, that is when he's getting caught with some of these really quick twitch left hooks and right hands over the top.
Yeah, Apodaca's a decent little. That was a right hand. Yeah, that was an overhand right, and it was well timed.
Doug, when he steps in and with the jab and he breaches his own airspace, that is when he leaves himself very, very vulnerable.
He's got to be careful. I think Chavez has some quick hands, but so does Apodaca.
There's an old saying from boxing trainers: box behind your back leg. Another way of saying don't lean forward. Right there. It's a good jab, and he kept his and maintained his distance. Saw a knockout a couple of days ago on the Golden Boy show with a young fighter named Emilio Sanchez. Did not know where he was in the ring. Doug, when you face a guy 1-7-2, I don't think you expect to have this tough of a fight.
No, but it's a lesson for all young fighters. Don't underestimate anybody, and never judge a fighter by his record.
And we're halfway through here. It's been a tough one for the undefeated Anthony Chavez against Carlos Apodaca.
See highlights from round 2. That overhand right connected from Apodaca. Apodaca is just waiting for Chavez to fall in. Chavez had some moments here. Lands a short right on the inside. And Apodaca ran Chavez into that right. Chavez sheepishly grins afterwards, but he's not living up to his nickname too pretty. That was a nice right hand landed by Chavez.
This is a 4-rounder. We are halfway through. Doug, how do you have it?
You know what? I could be wrong. I'm sure the judges will disagree with me. I've given both rounds to Apodaca.
Ooh.
He's landed punches that have visibly shaken Chavez. How many times is Apodaca going to land that right hand before Chavez makes some adjustments?
Well, every time.
He needs to keep that left hand higher, right?
Well, also, Chavez needs to use his advantage in length and height. He is not maintaining distance. A guy that much shorter, theoretically, should not be able to land that many lead left hooks or right hands if the taller fighter has correct spacing, which, quite frankly, Anthony Chavez simply has not had many times tonight, leaving himself very, very susceptible to counterpunches.
Well, he's trying to stalk this athletic journeyman without using his jab.
Yeah.
He's just trying to walk him down, and he's walking himself into these overhand rights. Right now, a jab should be flashing from Chavez.
Right, and once in a while, like he did right there.
There you go, nice jab to the stomach.
And also throw feints. Throw off and offset the timing of Apodaca.
That was a nice right cross landed by Chavez. He needs more of those. And I should mention, round 2 I thought could have gone either way. That was a competitive round. Chavez had his moments, so did Apodaca, but I thought Apodaca's punches were harder. At least they appeared to be.
Stop. Break.
And you see Chavez now employing a couple of feints and then stepping back, making Apodaca lead, which doesn't seem to be quite as comfortable in there.
Stop, stop, let him go. Let him go.
Boy, this is one of those nights George Menton would say, kid, win tonight, look good tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nobody punch?
This is going to be one of those learning lessons, really valuable experience for Chavez.
Let him go.
Apodaca appears to have run out of steam a little bit. So that's an opportunity for Chavez if his conditioning is better.
You see now, he feints and then he throws the jab, and he doesn't step all the way inside. So that's a nice subtle adjustment Chavez has made here in the third.
I think Chavez has been in command of this round, and he's winning it thus far.
Stop, 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 stop. Turn around, turn around. Box. Stop, break. Step away from each other. Stop at the bell.
3 down, 1 to go. Anthony Chavez getting all he can handle from Carlos Apodaca. Came in with the record, but as Doug has been saying the whole night, don't judge a book by its cover. And we go into the corner of Chavez, led by veteran trainer Henry Ramirez.
Hold it a little bit more, you know what I mean? That's good. I like that.
That was actually the corner of Apodaca that we were peering into. Doug, 3 rounds down, 1 to go. You have to think one way or the other. This fight is probably in the balance going into the last 3 minutes.
I think it's up for grabs, yeah. I scored round 1 for Apodaca. I think round 2 could have gone either way, but I scored it for Apodaca, and I scored round 3 for Chavez.
So here we go. Does Chavez hold on to his undefeated mark? He's got 3 minutes to make his case.
Let him go, suéltelo. Carlos, suéltelo,
Doug, I get the sense Chavez in all of his fights has probably been the slicker, quicker fighter. Facing a guy like this may have thrown him off a little bit. For the first time, he may have actually had to be the aggressor. And quite frankly, it may not be exactly what he's good at.
Yeah,
or best at inside that ring.
Tonight he's in with a cutie, and I'm not referencing Apodaca's trunks.
Let him go.
He's in with a tricky fighter who has some athleticism and has some timing.
Stop, stop. Okay.
I still remember when Pernell Whitaker fought Diobellis Hurtado, and Pernell, the consummate boxer, looked off the whole night as he had to be the one on his front foot.
Right, in Hurtado, Whitaker was facing somebody who was mobile, who was moving on him, but also could match his hand speed. Was very quick and surprising with his punches.
Hey, tell him in Spanish. I'm not going to tell him again. Stop freaking holding. Okay? Time in, box.
And Apodaca, at least for the first 2 rounds, was he was hard to gauge from Chavez.
And Doug, on that particular night with Whitaker, he was about, what, 5 minutes away from losing a very lucrative fight against Oscar De La Hoya.
I believe he had been down twice.
Yeah.
And he had to prevail with power, which we weren't used to seeing from him. Actually forced a stoppage, I think, in the 10th or 11th round. But that Cuban Hurtado was dangerous. I think he dropped Costa Tszyu twice before getting stopped.
You know, when Henry Ramirez watches this tape, the one thing I think he will stress to Chavez is, and again, this is a short fight, so these things have to be at a quicker tempo, but being patient behind the jab and not giving up his height. And see what he's doing right there? He's actually leaning down a little bit, crouching.
But not, I don't mind him crouching if he's going to fire a jab to the chest of Apodaca. But don't just pose. Don't just try to walk a guy down with your left shoulder facing him. You know, pop that jab.
Stop time, Mike.
Even if it's like one of those sort of smacking up jabs, you know?
1 point for holding.
Lift the chin of the journeyman for a straight right.
Well, 1 point for holding. Stop the holding.
Is that a point deduction? Did Jacques just deduct a point, or was that a warning to Apodaca for Hernandez?
Stern warning.
Okay. Chavez could use that point deduction just to be safe. I think he's winning this round. Apodaca is kind of in retreat mode now.
Well, he is in the 4 corners. I don't see how he won this round. Now, how they judge the first 2 rounds is going to be key here. Anthony Chavez certainly getting all he could handle from Apodaca. And there it is.
What is this, high mathematics?
All right, well, we have a lot of celebrities in the audience tonight, and we have a former NFLer who's with Cynthia Conte.
Let me check your work.
All right, guys. Well, look who I found, Victor Cruz. Oh, and listen, what do I hear? They're playing some salsa music. You know what? Before anything, can you show me some of your moves that when you scored? I'm going to make you dance. Where's the music? No, we'll dance together. Put the salsa music on, por favor.
Oh, God.
Dance. Okay, imagine. Oh, come on.
Sorry.
Okay, you need a football maybe. All right, okay, so you're a big fight fan. Favorite fighter?
Favorite fighter right now has to be Triple G, for sure.
Very good answer. Okay, you know, you're here, fight night, you're visiting. You're not in boxing, but when you watch boxing, what do you think about when you see these fighters just go balls to the walls?
Exactly that, just the competition of it all, you know what I mean? Just to have them, you know, train for months and months to do this and go out there and play and fight and put their best foot forward. I'm here for the competition, that's what it's all about.
And what are you doing now since you're not playing football? What are you up to right now?
I'm doing a little bit of everything. A little NFL analyst, a little fashion stuff, a little TV hosting gigs and things like that. So just be on the lookout for greater things.
Oh, you're going to host, you know? It's not as easy as people think it is, okay? Well, are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to show us a little salsa move?
If you dance with me.
I told you I'll dance a little bit with you. Ready? Turn some music on. Can we do that, Will? Can we put some salsa? Yeah? I can't really dance with dress. All right, guys. Steve, Dougie, you're next. And back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. That is the pride of UMass, Super Bowl champion Victor Cruz. Joe Hernandez, give us the decision.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards, and here are the totals. Daniel Sandoval has it 40-35. Both Raul Caiz and Fernando Villarreal have it 39-36. All for your winner by unanimous decision. He is still undefeated from San Bernardino, California, too pretty, Anthony Chavez Cifuentes.
All right, a rocky start for that young man from Riverside, California. Buzzed in the first, had some difficulties with the hit-and-run movement of Apodaca, but he improves to 5-0 and will certainly be a valuable experience for Anthony Chavez.
I think those judges were hating on Apodaca's trunks, man. See, I don't judge like that. I'm open-minded. I had that fight a draw.
All right, so coming up now is our co-feature featuring Brian Seballo, who is the first official fighter signed under the 360 Promotions banner of Tom Loeffler. Let's go to the Twitter timeline. A lot of stuff going on here. Let's see what is on the hopper. Corey Blammeyer says, just me or is the 8th side unbeaten prospect? Anthony Chavez has been getting shook up in every round so far like a battle of Rumain. That's a very obscure hipstery reference. It's a Japanese soft drink.
Cool.
Anybody.
I told him it's not just him. I saw what he saw.
And let's go back up to Cynthia Conte, who's with Anthony Chavez.
All right, guys. Congratulations. You are still undefeated. I remember in our interview yesterday, you were just blunt, done, I'm hungry. You're here, you won. What are your thoughts? Tell me.
I feel good, but I know I could do better. And it's just, he was a little awkward, you know, first round, you know, he came in swinging. And I should have been popping the jab, but it happens, you know.
What do you rate yourself from 1 to 10? What's your performance?
What do I rate my performance? A D. Okay. Yeah.
Well, you know, every time is a learning experience, but you know what? Congratulations. You got the win. What do you want next?
So, I just want to fight again, wherever.
Okay. And you know what? You had Henry Ramirez in your corner. Yes. Yeah, so you have, you know what?
The best in the business, you know.
He is a legendary trainer.
Very awkward guy. Anthony was showing his frustration a little bit. Get back in the gym, get right back to work, and he'll definitely look better his next fight.
Good. All right. Well, tell your fans that came out and supported you.
I want to thank everyone for coming out to support me and just, oh yeah, the TV, my bad. Do I look good though? All right, yeah, all right. Yeah, I just want everyone to continue to support me, and hopefully I got a little fans, you know, gang of little fans, and you guys will see me again. Thank you.
All right, congratulations. Back to you guys.
All right, Cynthia. And brother JR says those trunks look like something Hector Camacho and Joey Gamache wore
Joey
back
Gamache reference.
in the 80s and 90s.
Nice.
Yes.
Props to him. Props to him. That was from Maine, right? Joey Gamache?
Yeah.
And he had his Maniacs. Those were his fans, yeah.
Making his way to the ring first, fighting in the blue corner, hailing from Sonora, Mexico. Here is Luis Alberto Longoria. And his opponent tonight, finally out of the red corner, now making his way to the ring from Brooklyn, New York, his pro debut, Brian Seballo.
Yeah, this song is dedicated to all the teachers that told me that I'm not remember. For all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling from, that told the police when I was trying to get some money to feed my daughter. Told all people to the struggle, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, and you hear Notorious B.I.G., this young man from Brooklyn. His parents are of Dominican descent, born in Viva, Puerto Rico, grew up in Brooklyn, comes in with an amateur record of 206-13. And Doug, we went to, I believe, a media breakfast about a month and a half ago where Tom Loeffler officially announced the signing of this young man to 360 Promotion.
And he's very, very mature, smart, calculating. He's very good in interviews. He reacts well with the media. Kind of reminds me of Andre Ward, a young Andre Ward, but a little bit warmer. Doesn't hold his cards as close to his chest as Ward did.
All right, so they're both in the ring. He's going to make his professional debut here at the Avalon in Hollywood. Let's go back up to Joe Martinez.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, once again, 4 rounds. This in the welterweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trunks trimmed in white. He weighed in officially 151 pounds. In one bout as a professional, he has a victory. That win coming by way of knockout desde Sonora, Mexico, Luis Alberto Longoria. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black, trimmed in gold, weighed in officially 145 3/4 pounds. Tonight, this highly regarded amateur makes his professional debut. He joins us from Brooklyn, New York. Here is Brian Seballo! And your referee in charge of the action, Rudy Barraga.
After the fight.
Tell the tape, you see the age of Seballo, 24. That's kind of an advanced age for an American to make his pro debut, but he had a very extensive amateur career, and he wanted to make sure the circumstances were right. He has 1 inch in height and a slight reach advantage.
And you mentioned that amateur pedigree, made efforts to make the 2012 and 2016 Olympics that came up short. Also on the ledger, he won the 2012 Daily News Golden Gloves tournament in New York. Certainly a very prestigious amateur tournament.
I think he's won 5 of those titles, as a matter of fact, which puts him in very rare company. Mark Breland did it, and I think one other fighter did it. Matter of fact, I think the other fighter, apart from Brian and Mark Breland, is the son of his head trainer. And earlier I said that Brian kind of reminded me of a young Andre Ward, and his boxing style kind of reminds me of Ward. He's very good. He's very good from a distance and middle distance. Good jab, and his right hand is very accurate and fast from a distance.
Longoria from Sonora, Mexico, with a record of 1-0. November of 2017, scored a second-round stoppage of a Fernando Lopez to get on the board.
So he carries that confidence in with him in his second pro bout. And like our last blue corner opponent, he's got some strange trunks. These are kind of like mixed martial arts trunks. Not much of a waistband on them.
It kind of look like something you'd wear poolside in Vegas.
Yes, I was thinking they look like swimming trunks.
Yeah. Seballo now starting to really pour it on here, letting both hands go. You can see the burgeoning confidence here in the first round of his professional career.
A little bit out of character for Seballo. He's generally very careful and calculating. Consummate technician in there. They're going to stop it. Wow.
Well,
he was hurt.
No, Longoria shook his head to the referee as if to say, get me out of here.
So he capitulated. Yeah, he was hurt.
Generally, if you wave your head to the referee or shake it the way he did.
Oh, and look at his nose.
Yeah,
he got caught with one of those right hands. And Seballo has a very crisp and accurate right hand from the distance or from middle distance. And I like the instincts that Seballo showed. As an amateur, very careful for 3 rounds. Does not take a lot of risks, but once he smelled blood, maybe saw blood, he jumped on his opponent.
So Brian Seballo goes to 1-0, and let's take a look at the action. It looked like to be a right hand.
Right to the body.
That did the damage.
There's a jab that lands. Maybe that jab produced the blood. Nice 3-punch combination to the head. His opponent is covering up. Oh, he took a right hand to the rib cage.
And it must have been a previous punch, because as you can see, the blood is certainly flowing from his nose at that
I doubt
point.
that was from a jab. I bet you that was from a right hand. Seballo has a nice right hand. It's accurate, it's fast.
And right there
it's
he
crisp.
waved, tapped out.
Those rights to his rib cage, his left rib cage, I think that it just sort of an accumulation of that punishment.
All right, so a successful debut for Brian Seballo. Let's get some more of the particulars from Joe Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 2 minutes, 16 seconds, round number 1. The blue corner asks for this bout to come to a close. We have your winner in his professional debut from Brooklyn, New York. He wins by TKO, Brian Seballo.
And there you see Seballo right there on his left. That is Timothy Van Nieuwhouse, who's part of the split team management team of David McWater, who has taken on the task of guiding this career. And so let's go over to Cynthia Conte, who's going to make her way over to the victorious Brian Seballo.
Brian, congratulations. You just made your pro debut. You look great. He quit. He stopped it himself. How does that feel? How do you feel right now?
I feel great. You know, coming in here, I didn't know that it would be so big, but I actually finally just realized that this was my pro debut. So it feels good. It feels good to have all the California fans out here. You know, I'm looking to acquire them as fans. I already have the New York fans. I'm looking to acquire more fans, and I appreciate all the support I can get.
When you were in the ring with him, because since he did stop his fight, did you notice he's a little awkward? He was changing his stance. When did you know that this was going to be your fight in less than one round?
You know, I actually realized it once he threw the first jab. You know, once a person throws a jab, that tells me a lot about a fighter, how their footwork is. You know, he's a tough competitor, and I give him all the praise in the world just to get in here and be a challenger today.
Since now this is your first win on your pro debut, what do you want next? Who do you want next? I know it's still early. It's too early, but who do you want next? And like, you know, who would you want to fight or in your next fight?
You know, no. You know, I leave that up to my management, Split T, and also 360 Promotions. Tom Loeffler, he's a great guy. He's a smart guy. I'm honored to be with him, you know.
Yeah, on the first card, your pro debut.
Yeah, this is amazing, you know. I'm debuting, he's debuting. We go great together as a team.
Well, you know what? Brooklyn is in the house. You're here in Cali. Talk to your fans. Everyone around the world is watching you. They just witnessed your first victory. Talk to them and tell them.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting me throughout the world. To all my Spanish fans, gracias. Gracias por el soporte. Y es un placer. Sí, soy dominicano y puertorriqueño.
Congratulations, Brian Seballo. He's a guy that you guys need to watch out for. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. And Doug, I just noticed on the trunks of Seballo's opponent, and I've noticed this, anytime it says UFC on the trunks, the guy's not going to be good. He's not going to be good at
What
boxing.
a hater you are.
I'm just saying.
You know who is good? Seballo.
Yeah.
I didn't see enough of him tonight. I want to see more of him, but he lived up to his amateur billing. He is an excellent boxer technician. He's athletic in there, and what I like is that he sees the opportunity. Once he saw weakness in his opponent, he pounced on it and took advantage of it.
Yeah, we're in late March. This is March 27th. So, listen, I don't know what's going to happen May 5th. I don't think anyone else does. But this is the type of prospect, especially based on the nature of that quick fight. You could probably face this guy or trot him out there 5-6 times. And that's one of the reasons why Tom Loeffler said I developed this Hollywood Fight Nights, because he can't do this on HBO cards alone. And speaking of that, Ryan Martin, who now I believe is a junior welterweight. They have made that decision over the weekend. He waited much closer to 140 than he did 135. He is in our main event taking on Luis Eduardo Flores. Let's kick it back up to Joe Martinez.
From Colombia, Luis Eduardo Flores.
Yes, and this is Luis Eduardo Flores with the Z from Colombia with the record of 23-8. And as you peruse the record, there's one thing that sticks out like a sore thumb. That is a knockout in one round. This is a victory over future world champion Miguel Berchelt.
Wow.
Yeah,
he's that guy.
He's the guy.
It was him.
Yeah.
He's the reason nobody gave Berchelt a shot against Francisco Vargas.
Certainly a very seasoned pro. Started off 13-0 while in Colombia. And he has certainly faced a host of big names, and Ryan Martin will be the next one.
Wow, he is tall and rangy, Steve.
The undefeated super lightweight from Cleveland, Ohio, Ryan Martin.
And there is the blue chip, who now lives in Cleveland, hails out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, 25 years old, and recently made the decision to go full-time at the summit in Big Bear, California. And he told me when I was up there a couple of weeks ago, you were actually with me, Doug, he said, this ain't for everybody up here.
No way. No, it's Big Bear can ruin some fighters. I know some world-class fighters who thought they would get a boost in their career by switching camps to Big Bear, and they couldn't handle the altitude, or they couldn't handle the solitude.
Yeah.
They went crazy up there. It's definitely not for everybody. It served Triple G, Gennady Golovkin well, and I think it's serving blue chip Ryan Martin well, and he's learning a lot just by watching and observing Team Triple G.
All right, so he makes his 2018 debut. Let's kick it back up to Joe Martinez.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live worldwide on ringtv.com from the Avalon here in Hollywood, California. It is time for the main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing this scheduled in the super lightweight division. Presented by Tom Loeffler's 360 Promotions with Tecate, the official beer of boxing. And sponsored by Chivas and MGM Resorts. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, the Executive Officer Andy Foster, and Chairman John Carvelli. Your three judges scoring this bout at ringside on the 10-point must system, Raul Caiz Jr., also Daniel Sandoval and Fernando Villarreal. And when the action begins inside the ring, your referee in charge, Jack Reyes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the judges are ready. The fighters are ready. Hollywood, make some noise if you are ready!
Come in.
Introducing you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing white trunks trimmed in green, he weighed in officially 140.5 pounds. This 31-bout veteran has a record standing at 23 victories, 8 defeats, 19 big wins coming by way of knockout. Presentando de Puerto Libertador, Colombia, here is Luis Eduardo Flores. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing baby blue, trimmed in gold, he weighed in 138.5 pounds. In 20 professional bouts, he stands perfect with 20 victories, including 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Here's the undefeated super lightweight, fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio, the blue chip, Ryan Martin. Once again, referee Jack Reyes with the final instruction.
Mouthpiece, mouthpiece. Okay, fellas, both of these are right at the belt line. They're going to slip up on and let them work in here. You hear that? Okay, I give you both instructions. Just listen to my commands all the time. Relax yourself all the time. Play duro, play limpio, toca la mano. Buena suerte. ¿Listo?
So we begin round number one here. Ryan Martin taking on Luis Eduardo Flores, and Blue Chip was very blunt about his goals for 2018, and that is to erase a very listless performance in his last outing on the Golovkin-Canelo undercard, where he looked more like a penny stock, struggling to a 10-round decision over Francisco Rojo. But you know what? I give the kid credit. He didn't disagree. He struggled that night.
Well, yes, he did struggle. I call that a gut check. I think every young fighter, every young up-and-comer, every potential contender, potential title holder, potential title challenger has to go through a tough 10-round or 12-round experience like that in order to take themselves to the next level. I think Anthony Joshua needed to have that tough fight with Dillian White before he stepped up in class against a future Hall of Famer in Vladimir Klitschko. And that's a story for everybody who's ever called themselves a champion. They've had to have that one fight during their journey to the world title where they were in with a guy who they couldn't dissuade, couldn't overwhelm, that was going to get in their grill and hurt them with hard shots and make it a tough fight for the duration. And I think it made Ryan Martin a better fighter. Made him realize maybe he's cutting too much weight to make 135 pounds. Made him realize, you know, maybe instead of just a couple of weeks at the summit in Big Bear, I'm going to have an entire camp in Big Bear, and I'm going to bring in Abel Sanchez as my head trainer.
Yeah, well, early on, Martin looks much more stout, much more steady on his feet. In all fairness, he absolutely did drain himself to make that 135 limit against Rojo. Talking to Tim Van Nieuwhouse, part of his management, they are officially now at 140 pounds in the land of Mikey Garcia and Jose Ramirez. And I think it might serve him well. Just look at that frame.
Yes,
that is just
I was going to say, the frame and the bone structure suggests junior welterweight, not lightweight. He actually has similar bone structure to Jose Ramirez.
Double left hook to the body by Martin, who looks very good early on. You could see already he has much more in terms of constitution and a lot steadier on his legs than he was back September 16th.
I like the hand speed. I like the crispness of the punches. I like that he's putting the punches together. He is an aggressive boxer. He doesn't have enough power to where I would call him a boxer puncher, but he goes to the body well, and he's a high volume boxer, so he's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and certainly a lot of snap on his shots in round number 1 as he sets the table for the night.
Un poquito más llaveo. Respiren. Todo vivo. Vivo. ¿Cómo siente los piñazos, hermano? ¿No pega tanto? No. Ok, está bien. Está bien, perfecto.
Very good round. Right here. Over here. Okay. Okay, slide over a little bit to the right. See what he does, and then we can come over with that right hand. I'm telling you. Make sure you have your hands up. Okay, he's countering very good. All right. Deep breath. Deep breath. Very, very good round. Okay? Just make sure we put two together, okay? That one on top is very important.
And we begin round number 2 here in Barbosa box. Fernando Barbosa says he saw Paquito Rojo winning back in September, and Loops says the trunks really tell the story so far tonight. Hopefully we get a decent main event, seeing as they are both wearing industry standard trunks. I have to mention one thing. Flores' trunks, on the front, it says Flores with an S.
Flores looks like a competent fighter. I mean, obviously, you know, he's got 31 pro contests under his belt, and it shows.
Left hook to the body by Martin, and another right hand downstairs. Martin looks much better just physically in terms of the snap and the torque he's bringing to his punches. It simply was not there against Rojo.
No, he did not have the snap. He didn't have the quickness on his punches against Rojo.
Keep this in mind.
And I answered Barbosa box, by the way. I thought Ryan legitimately won that fight, but I thought it was very close.
Oh, another good left hook and another one.
And you see the body punch, too. You see the left to the body. That's one of the hallmarks of Ryan Martin's fighting style is not just a high volume attack, but a concentrated body attack.
There was a double left hook, high-low or low-high from the blue chip. Keep this in mind about Flores. He's been stopped 3 times by some notable names. Sammy Valentin, Sharif Boguer, and Regis Prograis. Very talented young man.
You know what? No shame. No
Yeah.
shame getting stopped by those guys.
And it looks like Prograis is going to absolutely enforce his mandatory position against WBC champion Jose Ramirez.
That might be the best fight that can be made in the 140-pound division. I like how relaxed Martin looks. I like that he's picking punches off, staying in range, taking his time. And you see the hook is very quick and reflexive, whether it's to the head or the body. And he just landed it to the body, and it was nice. Nice quick jab. That was a nice right hand from Flores.
Double left hook again from Martin. There's a certain sturdiness in Martin that simply was absent back in September. People say it's only a few pounds, but just look at the frame and the body fat structure, or the percentage of Martin. He just has the type of body. It's almost like chiseled out of stone. There was not a lot to give as he made 135 the last couple of years or so, really squeezing himself into 135.
No, there was no body fat there. And definitely his legs look more solid at 140 pounds. And his body looks healthier than it did last September.
Time.
We are here at the Avalon in Hollywood. It is the premiere edition of Hollywood Fight Night, brought to you by Tom Loeffler's 360 promotion. You're watching live on Ring TV. This is Doug Fisher, Steve Kim, and Cynthia Conte bringing you the action live across the world. And Eduardo Flores really feeling the brunt of a heavy body attack throughout the first 6 minutes.
And I'm impressed with that body attack, and I love the way he mixes it up with jabs, and hooks, and 1-2 combinations.
Ryan Martin originally signed out of the 2012 Olympic class with SMS Promotions of 50 Cent, and that thing went to Bolivian. Was kind of left out in limbo.
There's
before.
the left to the body.
Yeah, and then he's hooked up with Tom
There's the
Loeffler.
right to the body. There's a 1-2 from the Colombian. There's a left hook response from Martin. And of course, I have Martin ahead. I think he's won the opening 2 rounds.
And I don't think it was the easiest decision, even though physically Martin may feel much better. I mean, Doug, you worked for years to be in a position to fight for a title. And Ryan Martin, on all 4 major sanctioning bodies, was rated. And I know
true.
a lot of fighters always try to get in that first title. But quite frankly, I think after that last performance, they didn't have any other choice but to move up.
They would have been foolish to stay at 135.
And Timothy Van Nieuwhouse noted, once Linares got the fight with Lomachenko, they decided it was time to really move up. They were not going to get that fight.
Timothy knows. Timothy's not just a manager. He was a former amateur boxer himself.
Yes, he was. One of the bright young managers in the sport. And again, we saw his latest client, Brian Seballo, make his successful pro debut just a few minutes ago.
Good combination so far from Martin. Still has to be cautious, still has to be careful. Can't get too greedy in there against Flores, because Flores does have power. And he is experienced.
Oh, ripping right hand.
Yeah, that sent spit flying from the Colombian's mouth out of the ring. I hope nobody got hit.
And in the corner of the blue chip is Mr. Summit himself, Abel Sanchez. Let's see what he has to say.
That's it, again, you can't, come on. Okay, throw it right there. Come on, Ryan. Right there, that's it.
And down goes Flores from a barrage of punches, most of them the right hand from blue chip Martin. Jack Reese giving the mandatory 8.
I think a body shot is what really hurt him.
Protect yourself, okay? Box.
And I think it would be smart of Martin to go right back down to the
side,
body.
both sides, that's it.
And not just the left hook, but also the right.
Both sides, come on. Come on, Ryan.
What a professional Flores is, though. He could have just said, okay, I'm parking it. I'm going to stay on this bottom rope. But he gets up, and he's trying to finish the round.
Stop punching, stop punching.
So 3 in the books. Ryan Blue Chip Martin dominating Luis Eduardo Flores. trying to erase memories of that rather tepid performance against Francisco Rojo. And we take a look, I believe that is the Santa Monica.
That's the pier.
Yes. Finally starting to feel like Southern California here the last day or two.
Today was nice and warm, wasn't
yeah,
it?
absolutely was. And we take a look at some of the action from round number 3.
All right. Martin works the jab, touching him with the jab, coming up with a nice right cross, lands on the cheekbone. There's a right cross again, right on the cheek. Both guys miss with punches, a sweeping hook to the solar plexus of the Colombian, and I think that's what hurt him. I think that left to the chest temporarily winded the Colombian.
And the Colombian last fought January 20th at the Barclays Center. His 10-round loss to Anthony Peterson was then turned into a no contest. As
Why is that?
Peterson, I believe, failed his post-fight urinalysis.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least Flores got 10 rounds of work and a payday.
He got paid.
And he doesn't, you know, the loss doesn't count. Nice.
You know what they say about no contest, Doug? Beats losing.
Exactly.
Oh! That looked to be a right hand that
It's over.
punctuated this night. And Blue Chip Martin with a bit of a statement victory, rebounding from the Rojo experience. And that's a very pleased Abel Sanchez embracing his fighter. Abel Sanchez is all about action fighters. People forget, long before Golovkin, he had a guy that you love.
Terry Norris, my favorite fighter of the 90s. I have to cut you off, yes.
Please do.
And
Please
you know
do.
what? The speed and the combinations and the fluidity and the flash kind of reminded me of terrible Terry.
You know, what do I say all the time? It's not if you win, it's how you win. And tonight, listen, was he facing Mikey Garcia or Jose Ramirez? No, but you want to put yourself in a position where people want to see you again, and that was not the case in September, certainly the case tonight.
Yeah, Abel Sanchez still giving Martin some instructions right after the fight, even though it was really kind of a flawless performance from Blue Chip. And Steve, I got to ask you, was he a penny stock tonight?
No. He's a blue chipper. I will call my stockbroker.
Yes.
I'm going to buy some shares in this. And again, a lot of this has to do with matchmaking. He's not facing a monster, but you got to rebuild the confidence. But 138.6 pounds, so he still has room. But I tell you, he looked physically stout tonight.
Yeah, well, it's not just the matchmaking. You know, he was in with a competent and dangerous opponent.
Ooh.
It was also the conditioning. Oh, that was it was a short right. There it is. He's pawing with his jab, measuring him, and that right landed right to the jaw, not to the cheekbone, to the jaw. It snapped, and the veteran referee, Jack Reese, saw the writing on the wall, spared Flores from further punishment.
All right, let's get the particulars. Go back up one last time to Joe Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 30 seconds. Round number 4. We have your winner by KO victory. He is still undefeated. The blue champ, Ryan Martin.
So there's a triumphant blue chip who on a day-to-day basis, being up there at the summit, gets to spar the likes of Luis Feliciano and another good 140-pounder, Alex Cholo Salcedo. So there's an old saying, iron sharpens iron.
And we're seeing the benefits from that professional training camp.
Yeah, and now that the fights are over, we'll get to Cynthia Conte. We'll be talking to Ryan Martin. It'll be time for Club Loeffler. This is when the fun really begins.
Loeffler's ready.
As his gloves are being taken off by Abel Sanchez, who seems to be very, very thrilled with the outing of his fighter. Cynthia, take it away.
Well, I don't want to enjoy. Oh, you know what? You're talking strategy. All right, congratulations on your big win. That was a beautiful but devastating knockout. Whoa! You're what now? 21-0 by way of 12 knockouts.
Okay.
Congratulations. What's going through your mind? How are you feeling? I know you're smiling.
One thing going through my mind is, man, Big Bear. Crazy, because the difference I feel tonight than any other fight is unbelievable. No, my mindset. Being strong going in there. I feel good, and having a great mind like Abel in there telling me what to do between rounds is, I feel great. I feel awesome. I feel like every round was a new round, first round.
I love it. You know, even though you won, you still talked about like what you did, what you could have done. And I love that because usually it's like congratulations, but yes, can we do a please? Oh, let's do this. Okay, talk about what's going on here.
I'm just, controlling everything and, thinking, doing what Abel tells me to do. And, I found the spot with the right hand. He was telling me the right hand is open every time. He made me believe in my right hand this fight because, it was definitely there. And every punch I felt so strong. So, right there I was like, oh, I got him. I got to keep going. So it's a great fight, a great, great thing for me to do to be here in front of the Hollywood fans. Great crowd tonight. Thanks everybody for coming out, supporting the fights. 360 Promotions. Look forward to it. Yeah, State Mates right here, Marat. Oh man, thanks for coming support.
Okay, so now after this beautiful knockout, I know you want to start. You want a title fight eventually, right?
Yeah, definitely. Whatever my manager Abel and Tom have in store for me, I'll be ready for it. Cause I feel like. Big Bear is definitely stepped my game up. Sparring with top level people, and maybe might be going up to 140. You never know. So I go back and talk with Abel and Tom and Tim and see what the game plan is. All I do is get in there and fight.
How was his performance tonight? Huh?
It's a learning. Every fight to this point is a learning experience. He did some things wrong, but he did a lot of things right. The most important thing is that he understands what the difference is now coming from Big Bear, how strong he feels, how he can just sit there and see what's coming at him and be able to react. But it's all learning.
You're going to get back in the gym and work with him on some of the weaknesses that he had. Well, remember I told you, blue chip, what it meant? You are the stock that people need to watch out for and invest in. Congratulations, Ryan. Ryan Blue Chip Martin, undefeated. Watch out for him. Congratulations. Oh, your fans in Chattanooga.
Fans in Chattanooga, thanks guys for tuning in. I know everybody in Chattanooga tuning in. I'll be home soon and celebrate.
Eat, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm eating some good food.
All right, guys. Such a great night. Congratulations. Back to you guys.
All right, well, Doug, that ends the night for us. Ryan Martin goes to 21-0, scoring his 12th stoppage. I think the story of the night are the youngsters. And we'll take a look back at the final rounds. Folks, don't call it a comeback. We were still here. Ryan Martin scoring a 4th round knockout over Luis Eduardo Flores. And it was a very strong effort from the very beginning, Doug.
Yeah, it wasn't just his speed and athleticism. The technique was there, and the patience and the poise was there. He was never in a rush. He knew which punches to throw at the right time, and I saw a level of maturity that I hadn't seen in previous fights, and that knockout punch right there, that was a good call by Jack Reese because it was right on the button.
Well, that fight was like a New York City street. That was one-way traffic, only going one way, and for the first time, he really looked physically in control. He looked stout. There have been a lot of other fights where Ryan Martin looked like a guy whose struggles to make weight were actually the tougher fight than the actual bout. I think the story of tonight, youth was served. Sergey Bohochuk, Chuck's leather.
Yes.
You got Brian Seballo making a very successful professional debut, and the blue chip with a bit of a statement victory to begin 2018.
Yeah, and with Ryan Martin, he paid the cost to be the boss. He made the sacrifice to train for an entire camp in Big Bear Lake, California at the summit, where he was surrounded by world champions and hungry young up-and-comers like himself, like Sergey Bawa Chuck, and it raised the level of his game, and I think it was smart for him to rise in weight from lightweight to junior welterweight, because physically he seemed much more comfortable in there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see where Ryan Martin fits in at 140, and for those of you who missed it, we're going to show the 4th and final round once again as Ryan Martin emphatically finishes the night against Luis Eduardo Flores.
Nice jab. Good straight right, brings everything back, brings his guard back. Fighting nice and tall and using his height and his reach, getting maximum leverage on every shot, not getting crazy, not getting greedy in there offensively, but aiming his punches, landing right on the sweet spot there. You know, a couple years ago, you and I both watched Ryan Martin on the undercard of some of Gennady Golovkin's fights at the Forum.
Yeah.
And I thought that he looked good, like he had a lot of potential. Definitely, he had the amateur background. Guy had 220 amateur wins, only 22 losses. Athletically speaking, he's there. He's a young man, but he made some fights harder than they needed to be because he would stay in the pocket. He would smother his own punches. He would throw too much. I mean, he would overcommit to the body and get caught. And there were some 8-rounders where I thought he got hit with punches he didn't need to get hit with. We didn't see that tonight. We saw somebody who understood what he is, and he's an athletic, aggressive boxer.
Yeah, and against Rojo, he had no legs. He had absolutely no constitution, no physical grounding.
Let's also say this. He was in with a tough guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't in with a chump.
So now the process begins, and this is the job of Tom Loeffler. You're going to have to get him ranked at 140. Now, do I believe he's ready to swim with the Sharks of Mikey Garcia, Jose Ramirez? Probably not.
No, not yet.
But you can see him from a physical standpoint in terms of height and frame and speed. He's there.
The potential is there. There's a lot to build on. I don't think it'll take long to get him ranked at 140. I really don't.
And another guy, again, I want to see him more. Sergey Bohachuk. He's good TV.
Must-see TV.
He's never going to be in a bad fight. I don't know how quickly you move him. Again, he's only 22 years old. That's another one that Abel Sanchez is very high on.
They don't need to be in a rush because of his age, and as you noted, he did not have an extensive amateur background. So just take him step by step, but to dominate Lucis Johnson, that says something.
All right, Cynthia Conte's with the man who brought this show, Mr. 360 Promotions, Tom Loeffler.
The mic is hot right now, Tom. The music is hot. The mic is hot. Everyone. The card was hot tonight. Okay, it was smoking hot. Now, we saw what. This was your vision. Did it come true?
It was great. We had a great crowd tonight. All the VIP booths. We had Victor Cruz here. Shannon Briggs showed up. Freddie Roach was here. Abel Sanchez was here. Henry Ramirez was here. Ben Lira was here. Buddy McGirt was here. You know, it was a great show.
Besides the celebrities,
Triple G's twin brother was here, and we had the Canelo look-alike twin brother here. So
besides all the celebrities, the fights, was it everything you expected to be? I mean, there were big knockouts tonight. Records were not broken. I mean, no undefeated records were broken.
Ryan Martin looked very sharp, looked tremendous. Brian Seballo had a great pro debut. Whenever you can get that first fight out of the way in the ring as a professional, that's a good thing. And so it was a very successful night tonight.
The guy stopped himself against. He said no, like a no mas, and then Ryan Martin, that beautiful knockout to the chin.
Ryan looked very sharp, very fast, crisp combinations. You could see a lot of hard work up in Big Bear, trained hard with Abel, and I think Ryan has a lot of great things to come.
All right, okay, so this is one fight down. When's the next fight? When's the big next Hollywood fight night?
We're looking at May 5, Cinco de Mayo in Las Vegas. Hopefully everything gets cleared up with Canelo. We'll see how that goes. And then afterwards, we're going to come back probably in June. I think we'll come back in June in Hollywood.
Okay, fighters, you guys saw what Tom Loeffler is all about in his own promotion. I think you guys want to start signing with him, so just send in your application. Sorry, Tom. All right, guys, okay, Tom, thank you very much for a great card. I'm Cynthia Conti. Okay, I'm gonna send it back to you boys.
Thank you, Cynthia. Great work tonight. And guys, Club Loeffler is now in effect. The chairs are being moved. The strobe light is now coming out.
Yeah.
And you better bring your ID. But anyway, a very productive night for 360 Promotions. This was the initial edition of Hollywood Fight Night at the historic Avalon here in Hollywood, California. Sergey Bohachuk with a statement victory. Brian Seballo with a good, solid look.
Want to see more of him
on his pro debut, and also Ryan Martin rebounds from what was a very desultory performance. Also, young guys like Rosales and Anthony Chavez really got extended tonight. And so you heard it from Tom Loeffler himself. Chapter 2 of this series.
Jose Casillas.
Yes.
I want to see more of him as well.
Right, and so maybe we'll see him in June. So on behalf of everyone behind the scenes, Will Wright producing this, David and Scott Tetro, Ring TV, Doug, Cynthia, great job. This is Steve Kim. So on behalf of 360 Promotions and Tom Loeffler, this is Steve Kim signing off till the next round.